What is that noise? Dude, it sounds like there's an airplane like right out of my apartment. It's so loud. But hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning. Or I guess it's not really morning. It's 11 a.m. in my time zone. Which I guess you can't really say is morning anymore. But we've arrived at a new day. It's Monday. It's time for coaching. Today, we're gonna do quite a bit of coaching today. I'm also gonna send everybody to Agile immediately, so we don't have ads later. So that's why we're also starting slightly earlier. But, Poppy, good to see you, by the way. New day, new us, new me, new you, new learning, new, lots of new things happening. Stream notice. We're gonna ping everybody. We are live with coaching. Last day before code resets. Codes reset on Tuesday, or reset tomorrow, I should say. But yeah, so as you can very clearly tell, I woke up 30 minutes ago. Dude, you guys, I need you guys to understand something. I locked the fuck in on the spreadsheet. You guys, like, dude, I spent an ungodly amount of time trying to finish the spreadsheet in time, and I was unable to do so. Brutal. Actually brutal. Timmy, Bashi, Kwame, Orchid, good to see everybody. Pillboy, good to see you guys. Because you're 2 minutes early, 2 hours longer. That might be it. I can't stay for a super long time today. I actually have to do homework. We're getting into the last like 2 weeks or so of school, so I gotta lock in a little bit. But yes, so the spreadsheet almost done. I spent a lot of time working on this over the weekend, like a lot of time. I'm talking like 30 plus hours trying to knock this out. We're almost done. So you guys are like, I should be able to finish it maybe tomorrow. I tried really hard to get it done, guys, but basically there's a few bugs I have, which is for some reason my Delta thing isn't working on the summary page, and this playday heat map is dependent on, it's also bugged out basically. But other than that, everything else on the new spreadsheet works. A couple things that you guys will see that's really cool is that there's now mode filters. So you can filter if you're playing roll queue or open queue, and then you could also filter by if you stack with somebody or not. And you can do that on every single page, and you can also add a season filter for on every single page, which is really nice. And then I added a bunch of quality of life stuff along the way as well. But I'm not ready for you guys to use this template yet, but I'm almost done. Almost done. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see on the spreadsheet, please let me know, because I am looking to ship this week. Because I need to get it done, because right after I'm done with graduation, I want to be hammering out content, and this was one of the things that was holding me back for a long time. So this is done, almost done. Once it's done, I'm now going to work on the bot, and then once the bot is in a really good spot, we're going to be hammering out content. So I'm excited. But yes, this is one thing I was working on, and yes, these examples are something that I spent a lot of time on as well. Where I went through your guys' spreadsheets, and I found like really, I mean, not to put you guys on blast, but I found some pretty bad examples, and then I found ways to basically improve them, and I hope this gives you guys way more context as to how to take good notes, which I think should be very helpful. Yeah. And I'll probably add more to this in the future, but I didn't want to spend another 4 hours making examples, so I just I'm leaving it as is for now. But yeah. But yeah, so this was my big project over the weekend. I'm excited for it to be over, to be honest. I'm getting a little bit sick of working on this, but it's almost over. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of the biggest piece of news. Other than that, today's going to be coaching for the entirety of the stream. We will be doing, so I will be ending stream around 3 p.m. my time. So we have about 4 hours ish of streaming, which is probably about 5 codes, depending on how long each code takes. My speed for codes recently has been like 30 to 45 minutes. So yeah, we should be good for about 5 or so codes before the wipe. Yo, what's up, Tail? I changed my name. It was previously Alex Dick. Oh, I see. Wait, it still is. It might be on Discord or no, but I didn't see it on Twitch. It's been updated. But anyway, so yeah, coaching today. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, definitely let me know. But yeah, super excited for going into next week with the spreadsheet about to be done. I won't have the video done for a little bit because there's some stuff I want to script out. I worked on it slightly, but it's nowhere near done because I was spending most of the time on the spreadsheet itself. And then no gameplay streams this week. Definitely not happening. I got a bunch of stuff to do. A bunch of stuff to do. We're getting into crunch time at my university right now. I got a bunch of group projects due this week and next week, and then I have final exams. I just joined. Was the new spreadsheet released? No, but it's almost done. Oh, I need to spin up the bot. Let me do that real quick actually. Let me move you guys to this. And then let me do I need to navigate to the path. Sorry. Yeah, we need to get this bot online soon. I'm so excited to finally end up getting to work on the bot. Copy path. Then I need to open up a terminal. I need to cd into the directory. Then I need to open up the virtual environment. Then scripts. Activate. Then I need to do python main.py. Okay. Now the bot should be open. And then we will do the new raffle. Let me go into Twitch chat. New raffle 300. Go ahead and enter the raffle for coaching. So guys, if you're here and you have a code you'd like me to review, definitely do !enter to enter the raffle. If you are here and you do not have a code but you want to claim a ticket to be more likely to win in the future, just do !claim. And this does only work in Twitch chat. So if you're on YouTube and you want to enter the raffles or claim tickets, please make sure you move into the new chat or the Twitch chat. But yeah. So other than that, I don't really have any other thoughts. I guess just in terms of timeline, I'm expecting the spreadsheet to be done this week for sure, just because of how far I'm at. The video for it probably going into this weekend, if not the week after. And then I need to work on the bot. I have to work on the bot. There's a bunch of stuff that we just have to get done. I need to host it on like a hosting platform like DigitalOcean, so it's always up. I need to move the database to a cloud provider. I need to do a bunch of stuff because right now I do everything locally, which is not, it's okay, but it's not ideal because I have to spin up the bot every single time. But if I just hosted it on something, you guys would be able to check stuff like live. You'd be able to do it at any time, which I think would be way more convenient. Like Mogwai, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Bug Nation. You could also just buy like a Raspberry Pi and plug it in and get it to host all that. I guess I could do that. I've never done that before, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could do that. It's also pretty cheap too. It's like 60 bucks or something, right? I could definitely do that. But yeah. Also, guys, I will mention this. Let me go to this. The YouTube is doing pretty well. I'm actually pretty proud of how the last video did in terms of just raw performance. This one, the thumbnail I think turned out awesome. I'm really happy with how the thumbnail turned out, and I think I'm starting to get a better idea on how to title the videos. So one thing I had been doing is whenever I would do a format for a video, it'd be like a 30-second hook into the actual VOD review. And what I would do is when I would make the title, I would title the video for the 30-second hook, which I think is relatively okay. But if you looked at the retention curves, I'd get like a huge drop in retention after the intro because the video no longer aligned with whatever it was titled. So I'm moving into more of this like general direction where it's like I taught someone something, and I think this is going to pan out better long term because it better aligns with what I'm actually doing in the video. Yes, I love the thumbnail. Yeah, I think this thumbnail is great. I think this thumbnail type or style is what I'm gonna lean into a lot more. And then I also redid this video like 4 times in terms of thumbnail and title, and I think it's turned out pretty well now. Yeah, so, and also the next video is coming out tomorrow, and then yeah, I want to try to move back to a daily upload schedule, but it's just really tough because moving to a daily upload schedule means that I add an extra 3 to 4 hours of editing and thumbnail creation / titling every single day, which is just a little bit hard to juggle, which is why we ended up moving to a every other day schedule to begin with. Okay, 74 more seconds, guys. If you haven't entered the raffle, please do ! Enter. If you are just here to claim a ticket, please do ! Claim to be more likely to win in the future. Why don't you try to add like Cassidy using Blender in the background, just any post, to be honest? I could do that. I just don't know how to use Blender. That's it. I tried streaming for the first time this morning and lost 3 in a row and raged off. I don't know how you do it. I mean, streaming, or are you talking about, are you asking about streaming, or are you asking about, you know, not losing 3 games in a row? Because for me, I mean, I tilt too. Like, if you go to yesterday's stream, for some reason it didn't end up on YouTube. Ah, fuck, I just smited it. But if you go to yesterday's stream, there are definitely a few moments where I raged. Like, I mean, I wasn't like particularly super mad, but I mean, I definitely got a little bit tilted. Right? Like, I'm like what I'm thinking of in particular is the last. Like, oh wait, this is the live. Hold on, it's recursive now. Hold on 1 second. But like the last game, I started tilting about my teammates, and I mean it happens. Friends. Like, as long as you're not tilting about your teammates every single game, it's fine. It's just like a, you know, 1 in 5, 1 in 10 games kind of thing. It's okay. But for me, I mean, I can stream because, I don't know, I just enjoy streaming. I just enjoy, like, talking, to be honest. I used to be a community manager at, like, one of my old jobs, and it was super, super enjoyable experience. And it kind of just translates over to streaming. My attention was just scattered because I had a guy in chat I was talking to. Oh, yeah, it can be kind of hard. Yeah. Yeah, trying to read chat and play the game is a little bit difficult. Yes, I agree. Yo, Tail, what if you upload a gameplay video? Yes, I do want to try that as well. I was thinking about doing the King's Row video, or King's Row code that I had the other day, which I thought was a really good code. But okay, this is going to be, we got a winner, Speed. Congratulations, you've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. Let's do great things. Speed, let's check us out in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, by the way, guys, definitely check that out. Go to discord.com. I would say /BugNation, but we don't have a custom URL yet. You can do !Discord to get the link to the Discord, or if you're on YouTube, you can check the description to find the link and join us. And here, this is where you submit your coaching requests so that we can have you for coaching streams. Give me a second, I'm still typing the post. Okay. But yeah, so just talking about streaming, I think streaming gameplay is a little bit difficult. I think it's not that bad. I think building, how do I want to phrase this? I think, okay, well, I'll preface this by saying I'm by no means a great streamer. Okay, I think I'm an okay streamer. I don't think I'm a great streamer though. But what I can say is, I think streaming gameplay gets easier as you just have more reps and you get used to just making conversation out of nothing or talking from nothing. I think where a lot of people get stuck is if they don't have any stimulus for conversation, they end up just never talking at all. And I think what makes coaching streams very useful as a great place to start is it always gives you something to talk about. So you just get reps in off rip. So for example, a lot of you guys weren't here for this, there are people like Timmy that were here for this, and Pillboy and Kwame who were here since the beginning. But I would stream to like 3 people and the chat would be dead 90% of the time. So I would just have to make stuff up and make my own conversation and talk about stuff. And that's where I got started. And then from there, whenever you have nothing to talk about, it makes streaming gameplay a lot easier because you're able to just make conversation the whole time. Or you're able to talk about, you build a tolerance for just talking about your own gameplay or what's going on or so on and so forth. Because one of the worst things you can do as a streamer is have dead air. Unless you're actually Thanos and you're like champ 1 player and people watch you just because you're unbelievably good, people will not watch you if you have no character. I remember when the chat was full of Timmy's messages. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like it kind of just comes down to you as the streamer, right? Because there's a concept called social proof, which is very important in the realm of community management and growth and content creation, which I'll briefly explain because I think it's interesting, so maybe you guys will find it interesting as well. But there's a concept called social proof, and if you're not familiar with the idea, it's that basically as a person you're more likely to engage with anything if other people are also engaging with that. So what do I mean by that? So basically, let's say there's a YouTube video. Let's say there's 2 different YouTube videos and one is titled, let's just say both the videos are titled, I did something crazy. Okay. Let's just say I did some crazy for the sake of my sanity because I can't write it out long enough. Let's say there's 2 YouTube videos and they're both titled the same thing. Okay. But here's the difference. One has 13 views and one has 200,000 views. Okay. So as a human being, if you're going to choose a video to watch, are you more likely to choose the 13 view one or the 20,000 view one? Well, I mean, this is an obvious no-brainer answer. Of course, you're going to choose to watch the 200,000 view video over the 13 view video, even though they're the same thing. And this is because of social proof. More people have watched this video, so you are more likely to believe this video to be of some level of quality. Right? And this is the same thing for, Twitch streamers, right? If 9 people, are you more likely to watch a streamer with 9 viewers, or are you more likely to watch a streamer with 135 viewers, right? I mean, obviously, you know, people have different preferences, of course, but you're more likely to watch the person with 135 viewers because more people are watching that stream, right? So you're like, oh, you know, there must be some level of quality associated with that streamer. And this is why whenever you look at things like Twitch streamers, they don't grow linearly. They grow exponentially because of concepts like social proof. The more people there are, the more people there will be. Yeah, very cool concept. But this is also super relevant for things like YouTube and, you know, just growing as a content creator broadly. I want to watch a streamer with 24 viewers. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Yeah. Precisely. Gotta watch them eat the berries first to see if it's safe. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. But anyway. Very cool concept. If you guys, I like talking about stuff like that. So if you guys like that kind of discussion, just let me know. Like, I'd love to talk about it more. Anyway, getting into the code here. This is going to be today's code is going to be from Michael Afton, aka Speed on Kings Row. And he said, the start was good. I might have made a bit of a mistake, but it's not the problem. The second point was very bad. I kept trying to hold hotel and kept getting cleared by Orisa. I started fumbling after a lot, then the overtimes was bad as well. I held hotel again and kept getting cleared by Orisa. Okay. I think I should have held the high ground maybe or stay in the mega room and flank. On the next round I saw Zen in my backline, so I stopped rotating to the high ground and killed him. Should I have went up or played main with my tank since it's going to be a lot of time to go up again? We will check that out. And then spreadsheet. Let's check out these notes. So I remember you had a notes issue. Yeah, you had a notes issue before. If they're playing window, flanking, and holding the left side is really good. Because I can rat. Yeah, sure. My tank can someone dodge. I want to Q-snipe someone and then trolls. So the game. Okay, whatever. I needed to stage after winning first point. So need to remember this on the next map. Okay. I think I played too safe. Okay, I mean, notes look generally good to me. So keep that up. Questions? Should I have killed the Zen on my backline? Okay. On attack, do I go on left and go behind? Okay. Do I leave the tracer or keep marking her? Good enough. I'd encourage you to be a little bit more specific for questions like this tracer one. Should I mark the tracer on XYZ map in this specific situation? Right. The more specific you are, the easier it is to learn. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, looks good. Trend, we are Delta 25. So nice work. Largely in part because you had a day where you went Delta 10, which is insane. But I mean, this is fantastic. Nice job. Map spread looks normal. Yep, this looks normal. Antarctic Peninsula being a little bit weak is interesting to me. Do you play only CAS? No, you play, I mean, mostly CAS, but you also play Emre and Sojourn. Okay. Okay, looks good. Let's hop into coaching. So it's going to be King's Row. Okay, time to resolve this, by the way. Rank icon check resolved. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sketchy. Much appreciated. And then this is going to be GM, aka, or top 500. Tags, GM. There we go. They should be updated now. Let me double check. Yep, okay. View career profile, history, replays, import, bada bing, bada boom.
Ready for battle.
Hello, chat room, and hello, fellow learners. Well, hello, Tablecloth. Welcome. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good today. Okay, so King's Row. King's Row, King's Row, King's Row. Okay, let me also boot up my second instance of Overwatch here to help aid me in the explanation of how to play this map properly. We're going to go to King's Row. Boom, nighttime, because that's the OG. And then we're going to do this. Okay, King's Row first point.
Now
There are two ideas. Okay, I mention this every single time on King's Row, but there are two ideas on how to approach this point. Idea number one is, instead of, whenever you walk out of spawn, I want you to go to the left side of the bus. Okay, then once you're on this side of the bus, you have the option of either rotating into hotel from main or wrapping to the side of statue and pressing out tanks or something like that, with the idea of making this rotation to the high ground. Then from here, you can clear out the high ground, go wide, and then you have control of here, which is what I call the infinite value angle. If you are in this position, you just win the fight. Okay, so really strong rotation if you're able to find it. Also, for your second option is, instead of coming to the left side of the bus, if you're going to do that idea, you're going to come to the right side of the bus with the idea of going wide up the staircase through theater, and you're going to drop out the window. If you're dropping out the window, you're looking to make this rotation up the staircase and then also set up for the high ground. Okay, also a very strong rotation. Both of these are good. Which one you choose is just going to be dependent on the situation. 90% of the time, you can just do one or the other and it's fine. I'm doing good. I have a headache and I ate food, so I feel disgusting. Well, I hope your headache resolves and that you're able to feel better as soon as possible. But yes, so these are going to be your ideas. Please choose one. I do not want to see you go to the right side of the bus and then go main, because here's the problem. If you come right side bus, notice these people, like this Lucio, and let's just say there's an Ashe on the enemy team, are incredibly far away from you. So they're going to do more damage to you than you are going to do to them. So I don't like you standing here and taking these fights. Just wait for them. Or sorry, just either hug the wall and get closer, or go far away and go through the theater window. Okay? But yes. Nice. Good rotation. Chop out the window. Make this rotation. This is exactly what I'm saying. This is a fantastic rotation from you. Nice job. And then we roll across. Nice. And then now we're on the infinite value angle. Just continue rotating. Shoot everybody in the back. And I mean, this is just free, right? This is a perfect example of how to play King's Row first point from our friend Speed here. Nice job. Okay, a little bit poor flash technique there, but the idea was good enough. Go back up top. Nice job. Really well done from you. Yeah, and then I would start walking. You just go. You just go. No, you don't see anybody there. I would just take the risk. You don't see anybody here marking you. and what you do see is your Orisa postured aggressively here. Just keep walking, send it, and then die. I'd rather you die here than you just AFK up top. Be brave here and take space aggressively. I'm scared of getting 2-tapped by the Freya. You don't even see her. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't see her. Yeah, you hear her in main, but you don't see her. So you need to just gamble and then go. Just try to win the fight. Yeah, you just let this guy aura you out of making a good play. Okay, now you go. Nice. So you're just slightly late in this rotation, but the idea is good. Okay, we're just really scared. So one thing you have to understand about this position is as long as your team is fighting in the choke, like this, of course it whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Of course it'd be slightly better for you if your team was trying to walk through choke and then you could flank. But keep in mind, part of the value of this play is that you alleviate the pressure down main, so it is easier for your tank to walk. So, and that's what I'm saying. If you die here, it's actually not that bad. As long as you're forcing like 3+ people to turn for you, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. So if you just start shooting people now and you bait resources and attention, it's going to let your team be able to walk down main against this Malga and break through one of the hardest chokes to break in the game. Okay. I thought he's under me, not going to lie. Okay, well. Is the spreadsheet finished? No, not yet. Almost. Very, 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 like extremely close. I had a few bugs I wasn't able to work out. I stayed up till like 7 a.m. trying to do it. I used to just shoot people in the building, but never made the rotation off rip. Yeah, like always trying to find this rotation very quickly. Like I want to point out, you didn't really do anything here. Like you weren't the reason you won this point. I mean, you're in a good position, but look at that. Like that guy dies instantly to your Emre. It wasn't because of you. And then your Alari just also does 1,000,000 damage. We needed to be where we were the reason we won. We needed to shoot these guys slightly earlier. Should he drop and walk on backline instead of waiting? He just needs to shoot them. He needs to bait attention. That's all he needs to do. Right? Because also, they don't have any people that can really kill you. Like, Juno can't really kill you. Lucio can't really kill you. Emre can spam nades, and Freya can also spam you. But all of these things can be avoided if you just, like, unswing the angle, basically. Or you play down here, and then you grab the mini or something. I don't really know. But you're not going to instant die. It's not like a Hanzo or something where you're going to lose your head immediately. We just need to pull attention so that it's easier for our team to walk here. But this was a really good play from you. And then let's look at this. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I don't really care about deaths like that because the idea of the play is strong enough where it kind of didn't matter. Also, nice rollout. Thank you for going top and then dropping. I mean, when he peeked and heard them but didn't see anyone. I think the way he played it was fine, to be honest. I don't think he really needed to drop once he didn't see anybody. I think the way he played it was fine. And I think the way he played this fight was fine as well. We take space super aggressively after getting the cap. This is really good from you. So one thing I always recommend is if you guys capture second on King's Row, one thing that's really good to do is you guys have to understand that if you're playing Cassidy is really bad at third point attack. He's really bad. Why? Because think about it in terms of playmaking. What can you do to playmake on this point? Well, the only rotation you really have is this rotation through the Mega. Otherwise, you're just going to be in main the whole time and shooting your gun. And the problem is if you play Cassie on a point like this, the enemy team is going to play Ashe, they're going to play Sojourn, and they're going to play Freya. They're going to play all these heroes that can use the high grounds and then also, more importantly, outrange you. Okay, so if you have to play main on third, which is what happens a lot, you're going to lose. Okay, you're just going to get outvalued by the enemy DPS. So what I always recommend is once you capture second point, so it's captured, try to take space aggressively and end up in this position and fight for it for your life. And the reason I think it's good is because if you can win the fight when you're here, like you can stop these guys from taking space. This is also really loud. Let me turn this down. Then you can fight people for this space. You know, you deny the enemy team this rotation. You skip the hardest fight here for Cassidy, which is the fight for this corner, right? This fight is really difficult for Cass. So if you can find a way to win this fight, even if it costs you, you know, a death, it's 100% worth it. 100% worth it. Because the fight is just so difficult otherwise. Like, I really love this from you. This is really good.
Smoke, there's fire.
Perfect. Perfect. Lovely. Nice. And then we go back, surely. Yep, roll across. Shoot Emre. Fight is losing, so we leave. Now we go back once we're healed. Shoot backliners. I mean, this is textbook King's Row. Almost perfect. This is winning code so far. This was really, really, really well done. Nice job. You should be proud of this. If my tank's intentions are not to keep them stuff there, should I just rat? Yeah, you can also rat in that position. Like, if you end up there and then no one clears you and your tank is not holding the position, then yeah, you could rat there if you want. But I really think you guys should go for something super high risk on third once you cap. Like, a big reason why Speed was able to win that so dominantly is because he took that risk. So yeah, really, really well done from you. Nice job.
They have this coming, so let's give it to
Okay. Oh yeah, and then I think, yeah, Speed is the... Okay, so I remember a long time ago, I think it was one of Speed's first codes. He goes for this like rat play on theater, which I think is okay. It's gonna take me a second to walk over there. Bear with me. I think it's okay. I'm not totally against it. I do think it's pretty bad in like on paper, because the big issue with the play in theater is that if the enemy team clears you, you're almost definitely dead. And what do I mean by that? So Speed sets up on theater here like this. Where does he play? Okay, he plays it on this window. So the idea here is that nobody typically clears this space so that you're going to pop out and kill a backliner or whatever, and then you win the fight. Like, you're playing to win this fight. Okay? So you kill a backliner like this, and then you stay over here basically, and then once the fight's won, you return to your team, is kind of the idea. Where I have hesitation is that, like, if you don't kill anybody here, you're kind of just dead, is the problem. That's my biggest, like... You're kind of just dead. Like, good players will just catch you before you make the rotation, and then you're dead. Like, that's my only problem. There's not a rotation out of here. So, what I want to see you guys, and I'm not opposed to this, but I do think it's really high risk. So, if you are going to play positions like this, you should generally be playing it with your life. You don't love this? Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah. So this is the reward you get for taking angles like this, is sometimes enemy Widowmakers or whatever will just outright not know you're there, and then you'll just get a free kill. Which is cool. Like, I'm down for it. But there's also games where a Venture comes up here, you're forcing a 1v1 with a Venture Genji and you lose, right? So, I'm open to it. Like, I'm definitely open to this play. But just understand there's going to be some level of inconsistency. And this is what I was saying. This is what Speed is betting on. It's to win the fight. And then he's going to flip the map back to his team. Which is exactly what he does. Right. Widow Def got jump scared? Yes, that's for sure. I think it's good on first fight only, really. I wouldn't do it on any other fight. It's a nice job. Okay, so you just need to hear this, Orisa. I mean, admittedly, it's difficult to hear. Thankfully, you get bailed out by your team. Yeah, it's kind of brutal, to be honest. So, the reason this ends up panning out so bad is because you kind of had the wrong idea. Whenever you take damage here, in this position... Your idea should not be to unswing by moving to the right. Your idea should be to unswing completely like this. Like, you should be rolling backwards through hotel and coming out to here for this specific reason, which is this is actually the way you get cleared here is actually surprisingly common, where the enemy tank will just walk forward and then you get stuck kind of in this pocket near the desk. You want to, once you take damage here, roll backwards. So let me just show you. So here's how you play the angle. You put your back against this wall. That way, when you take damage, you can grab the mini if you need to. Right? Don't stand on top of the mini. You want to stand to the right of it. That way, when you take damage, you can optimize for health here. So you're going to stand here, shoot them as they walk through, yada, yada, yada. Then once you take damage, back up to the right like this. Like, look at my key inputs at the bottom right. Back up to the right like this, and then roll backwards. And then you can unswing like this. This is your idea. Okay. So where I see a lot of people make mistakes by playing in a hotel is they'll stand like here, for example, and then notice this. If I take damage, I roll back and I hit the wall and I still have to path backwards like this, which is really awkward. So the positioning in this here is actually really important. You guys should not have the idea of unswinging like this and jumping on the desk because you can get cut off. Your idea should be to come back to this way. If they're playing like Sigma Junkrat and they spamming hotel, how do I play hotel? You don't. Okay. What you do is, let's say they're playing Sigma. Let me just draw it out for you. Let's just say they're playing Sigma Junkrat. Okay. It's going to depend on what they're doing. If the Sigma and the Junkrat are both in main, then yes, you can go for the hotel play. But if, let's just say the Sigma and or the Junkrat are clearing you on this angle, you just unswing and you stand in main and shoot people. Or you make the long rotation, which is go through your spawn all the way over this way and come play the high grounds. It's one of the two options, basically. But you play hotel to a reasonable extent, right? If it's a really bad matchup for you or you're getting pushed by the tank or whatever, then you just have to give space. Of course, you want to prefer holding hotel because if you hold this space, you stop the attackers from being able to use basically half of the map. But, I mean, if you're getting pushed and the chance of you dying is extremely high, then you have to give up the space sometimes. Like a Junkrat is a perfect example. That fight is super losing for Cass. So you just approach this space incorrectly in how you disengage from the spam. I'm fine with you taking the spam, but yeah, you just should have rolled backwards and given up hotel instead of staying in here. Or the door with phone booth, right? Or is it too open? Yeah, it's too open, right? You will die a lot if you try to make this rotation and then come this way, which is why I typically don't recommend it. I recommend you back up, come this way, and then look for the wrap this way. Even though it takes a long time, it's just safe. Which is why you don't do it very often. You do it maybe 1 in like 5 games or something. Okay. Come up top. It's a really good map understanding from Speed here. He's coming up top to deny the high ground rotation and set up for his team. I would like to see a team check from you just to know where your team is relative to you taking this position. Yeah, so you are a little bit early here. Oh no, your Arissa's fighting. Okay, I just need a team check. I don't know where your team is. Here you'd be able to see your team does all have good spawn and they are about to start fighting for this space. So I would start looking to poke people out. Oh, you're waiting for the Widow jump up top. That's pretty good. I don't mind it. But I don't like that you don't team check at all. Yeah, there we go. Like, I needed team checks from you there. Otherwise, it was good. I don't mind you waiting for the Widow. Now there's walls. Speed, how long does walls last? You guys have to know this. How long does walls last for? 15 seconds. Okay, exactly. Nice job. That's the only, like, duration in the entire game you have to know. Walls last 15 seconds. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is fine. I think this is okay. I don't really mind this. But what I don't like is that you don't team check before you swing the corner, right? Like, how aggressive is your Orisa playing? You don't really know. And then you just get firewarped and die. Whatever. I'm not super opposed to that. Like, I don't think it's a losing idea, to be honest. Because there is a real world where you catch a Widow or somebody there, even though they have walls. Don't come up here. Don't come up here. So, on this retake, I don't like coming high ground because it kind of just is the wrong idea. Because think about it from a space control perspective. Whenever you're doing this retake, okay, what makes this retake difficult? Like, think about the times where you're not able to break through this choke. It's when the enemy team is playing here and here. They're playing both lanes at the same time. That's when it's basically impossible to take space. So, you coming high ground doesn't alleviate that for your team, because here's the problem. You end up on the high ground here, and not only do you not have a good angle on these guys, but when you do swing these guys in the right side alley, you're also exposed to main. So it's just not really that great of an angle for someone like Cassidy. I only really like this high ground position if you're playing something like an Ashe, because it gives you advantage point down main. So I'm not a big fan of this. You should not really be coming top right now, and instead you should be going in tunnel. That way you can control the alley space. You need to help your team take this lane, or else you're just going to lose the retake, right? So this is poor macro from you. This is enough to make it losing. You can't do this. Like, this is just going to be a weaker play. And also, look at this. Conveniently, you would have killed the Zen as well. Okay. Yeah, and now you're zoned out by Sojourn. And you're not able to take Ali early. And your guy dies because, like, part of the reason your guy dies is because you have no pressure. Like, look at this. Like, at the very minimum, I mean, I don't think you saved this guy, to be honest. I think he's always dead. But at the very minimum, you would have killed the Zen early or forced trans. And then you would have been able to make this rotation or, like, do this in the mid-fight. But now we have no playmaking available to us. Just had the most chopped attack on ever on Dorado. As Tracer, we didn't even get 1 point. That's what you guys defensive here. We actually love our food. Stand up top and do a trillion damage. Also, is the stream choppy, by the way? It looks a little bit choppy on the preview, but I'm not sure if it's just me or not. Also, okay. So, I didn't like your second defense idea. And then this idea is also poor. You don't know how pushed up they are yet? Looks fine to me? Okay, cool. Don't come out the left door because the left door doesn't give you options. Come out the right door every single time. It just gives you more options. The left door is just worse. Okay, look for backliners. Force trans. Stay on the angle. Bait attention. Get cleared by Orisa. Now that okay, so one thing I want to point out is now that Orisa is in main, or sorry, in the mega room, you know that because the Orisa is here, she's not in main. So swinging main, it makes more sense now, which I'm fine with. I'm so fine with this. Look for a backliner and get the kill on Sojourn. Nice job. Shoot Zen. Go top. One thing I'll say is that the only thing I kind of didn't like about this line is that I just wouldn't worry about this Widow. Orisa is your best tank matchup in the game. Farming headshots on Orisa in main is super useful for your team, especially when you're playing something like a Widow as your other DPS. This guy is never going to shoot tank. So you shooting tank is actually disproportionately good because your Widow can't do anything about it. Right? So shooting tank would have been fine there. I have no problem with you shooting tank. Yeah, and then the only thing about this is you end up getting caught because you don't rotate early. So you stay on this right side of the map, which I think is okay. But if you're going to be on this side of the map, I think it has to be bad. I just don't. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm fine with you being on this right side of the map if you're going to, like, rat in this position, right? You're going to wait for the enemy team to push up and then shoot them or whatever. But if your idea is just to shoot people, you should be in main for basically this exact reason. Because here's the problem. If you are in this position, let's just say you're here, right? And you need to rotate to safety, it's going to be very unlikely that you'll be able to complete this rotation through main and not die. So what do, right? You come up this staircase, you rotate this way and try to look for something like this. Well, notice this whole time you have multiple spaces with no cover, which means you can die, right? And roll doesn't go far enough for you to cover this whole distance, right? Roll only goes like maybe to this wall, and then it's really easy to get caught. So you can very clearly see that one of the biggest issues of this specific position is that the rotation out is just generally not that great. So if you are just going to focus on neutral pressure here, which is fine, you should just be in main kind of on this corner with the Zarya. That way you can unswing down like this. I was going to rat in high noon for the next fight, but Zen got 2 randomly and I tried to kill him or trade, so I was in a bad spot. Yeah, so what you needed to recognize here is when your Zenyatta kills 2 and he does this, you need to not swing wide, because if the enemy team, because what's it, okay, so like what if you're this tank player, if you're this Orisa and you see your Zen is deep, killed 2 people and is forcing resources, what are you going to do? Of course, as a tank player, you're going to take space. And look at this, right? You're in a bad position for if the enemy team did enemy team did take space, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you need to identify that the Zenyatta killed your team, and instead of being close to the enemies by taking a wide angle like this, you need to rotate back and look for this, like play an inside angle in this situation. So is it a bad spot because of the range of the enemy DPS? No, it's not a matchup issue. It's a rotation out issue. Your rotation is just too long. If you think about all of the good positions, it's you play positions that give you a rotation out. So for example, right, part of why Hotel is so strong for Cassidy is because you can deny this space and then you can rotate out very safely by just rolling backwards, right? It's a similar idea here, but it's bad because you don't have a good rotation. Because look at this. Speed makes it up top here, and then the enemy team is already looking at him as he tries to make the rotation, and he's just dead anyway. Right. I mean, when he played up top, he was outrange at that point, not in main. When he played up top, this was a space control issue. If you're talking about this on second point, this is a space control problem. He's not helping his team take space, and he just gets zoned out anyway by the long range heroes. So this is less that it's a matchup issue and more that he chose a bad angle to begin with. Like, it's just objectively worse, and he happened to get outranged. That was more of a coincidental thing. Okay. We continue. We continue. Okay. Defense. Again. Okay, so we play in Hotel. So we don't start top here. You should just shoot Orisa. Like, just shoot the pressure the tank out. That's part of what makes this angle so strong. And I mean, this is just your best tank matchup of the game. You get literally 1 trillion headshots. Like, force this guy out. Force him to use gold. Force him to use jab spin. Shoot the tank. It's strong. It's really strong. Okay. How was your... Look, I want to point this out, by the way. Part of why your Hanzo's able to even get that kill is because you are baiting attention into Hotel here. Like, look at this. So you're baiting this guy. You're baiting this guy to look at you. And you're baiting this guy. You're baiting 3 people to deal with you right now. Right? And then look at this. Dusk Eventide comes top. And guess who's not looking at him? Widowmaker. And he gets the kill. Okay. So this is a great angle. My process, if I don't shoot the tank, the support will get safe to walk and I kill them. I just don't think that's the right idea. I think in angles like this, you should just shoot the tank and then force... You want to force the supports to have to pocket the tank. What you don't want to have happen is the supports not have to pocket the tank and they can just focus on taking space themselves. You want them to have to heal the tank. Because also, if you're dealing damage to the tank, that's going to force them to use cooldowns, which is exactly what you want. You don't want the Orisa to have gold and jab spin and all these cooldowns. Nice. Look how much you're forcing here. You're forcing everyone to have to respect you. This is so strong. Nice. I think you're playing this well. Look, this Orisa actually can't even clear you. You're impossible to clear. This is the same idea. Like, you shouldn't be... This shouldn't be how you think about holding this space. You take a bunch of damage. Rolling forward is not your approach. It should be roll backwards. Leave the space. Because if you get walked on again, you're just going to get cut off from your exit and then you're dead. Right? So you can't hold the space like this. Yeah, okay. And then you die the same way twice. Okay. This is not how you... Like, once you're losing, once you're half HP or something and you can't hold the space healthily or in a healthy way, you need to just leave the angle. Okay, come on top. Nice. I actually like that you take those fights. Go back up top. Nice. Okay, I want to point something out. Why is Drama here able to take space so aggressively? Look at this. This guy is able to walk down main at full HP, all cooldowns. And why? Why is this able to happen? It's because our hero, Michael Afton, which is weird to say, but yeah, our hero, Michael Afton, is pulling both DPS on the angle. Both DPS are marking him on the angle. So guess what? Guess who's not marking our tank? The DPS. So your tank is able to just walk down main for free. So this is good. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is why flanking is really strong in Overwatch. Because stuff like this happens all of the time. Your team is able to walk down main for free with a billion health and all their resources, and then they can just make plays and carry. Right? Nice. Great job. Like, really well played from you.
Whatever awaits us.
Also, that's a good example of why doubling up is really bad, by the way. Because the Freya and the Ashe doubled up, there was no pressure in main. Enemy DPS can walk. Okay. So that's an inverse example of doubling up being bad. Then we make this rotation. We come right side. I think clearing the Zen is fine given the situation, right? You're in an OT situation, and this Zen has no mobility on the angle. I think this is fine. This is kind of a throw play from the Zen, to be honest. If the Zen was going to do a play like this, he should have chose not that angle, but he should have chose theater. He should have been here like you did the first time. There's also 2 minutes 30 on the clock, so doing a route play like this is kind of just a little bit too crazy. If there's 1 minute, I'd be down for it, but 2:30 is kind of crazy. Because he'd have to kill 5 to even be able to rotate out of that position. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you just want to roll. It's the big thing. Now you have it. Whatever. Also, you're swinging the wrong door here. Try not to swing this door because it's just too close, right? You don't want to be this close to people generally as Cass. You want to be about here. But also, you could also argue if you just hit a flash there, you get a kill. So I'm not too worried about how you played that, to be honest. Ideally, you walked out the left door there because you have better distance management and it's easier to get a kill there. Nice headshot. Okay, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I just don't think you should be approaching this from this angle. Like, if you're going to be fighting for hotel, typically what you do is you fight from here. That way you can clear this left side, and then you can clear the right side as you take space. Here, you're just stuck, right? Like, that's kind of the big issue. But honestly, I don't even think you should be making this rotation. Like, I understand hotel is good, but you know they're all playing in this space, and more importantly, that this space up here is free. The reason you won the first fight is because you made this rotation, right? Like, I would just make this rotation again. There's not really a reason to clear hotel into this comp when you know that this side is free, right? You should see the Freya here, you should see the Cass here, and you should realize, oh wait, no one is on the top then, and then go top. So I don't really like you continuing to clear hotel when you know the entire enemy team is holding the space. We should be clearing top here. Look, you need to take high ground here. Yeah. Yeah, he needed to go high ground. If he was playing something like Reaper, I mean, nah, even as Reaper, you go high ground. I think on basically any DPS here, you needed to go high ground. You needed to identify that no one was up there. Being in this space early is good, by the way. You play the micro kind of poorly here, though. So here we're stage top. How does this flash hit you? What? Oh, wow. You actually get robbed by the environment. So because the stairs is here, it puts it under your deflect hitbox and it flashes you. That's actually kind of brutal. I didn't even know you could do that, to be honest. Yeah. That actually sucks because you kill him otherwise. Yeah, whatever. I think you actually, you just kind of got robbed there, I won't lie. And then this shouldn't be your idea. Don't go for the engage, just force them to turn around. So instead of going for the Emre kill, You need to be back here and just poke them out and force them to deal with you with the idea of just hard leaving. Like, you don't need to kill them. So why risk your life? Just force them to look at you, right? Force the Emre to look at you. Force the Juno to look at you. This is the same thing, but at more risk, and you're not even at a chance of getting a kill. There's no chance. You're not going to kill the Emre, right? You're not going to kill his Juno. So you just wasted dash for no reason. So now, in the next 4 seconds, if either of these guys got headshot by a hit scan or something, you wouldn't be able to kill them with dash. So you just play the fight incorrectly. The idea should not be to go for a kill. The idea should just be to pull resources. This is still good. Like, I think you're timed well, but the cooldown usage here was poor. And then now we can go for the winner kill. Okay, yeah. So let's look at this again. I mean, you just dashed too wide. I don't even think you should dash on her, by the way. Unless she's 1 HP, there's no point in dashing. Just shoot her. Just shoot her. Like, you'd have to hit a dash melee combo for this to kill her. I know I just hard bait them, and I have an idea to go back to the mini if I don't get it. No, but I mean, but that's the problem. You shouldn't even, like, you shouldn't be like, okay, if I don't get the kill, I'm gonna leave for the mini. That's not what you should be thinking. You should just be thinking, I'm gonna poke these guys from an angle, force them to turn around, and then if they're low, I'm gonna dash on them. Like, that's how you should be thinking about it. Not, I'm gonna go for the kill, and if I don't get the kill, I'm gonna go for the mini. Like, because that's just like, you're not gonna, the chance of you getting a one shot on an Emre is like 10%, if not lower. Like, you're not gonna one shot that guy. You're not gonna one shot unless you're a champ 1 Genji main, like maybe, but like, that's just the wrong approach to variance in Overwatch. Okay, fortunately the Emre shoots you when you pop the flex, which is kind of epic. Okay, random Zen. Nice. Okay, this game was only difficult, this last point, because you forced Hotel like 4 times. You needed to come top because it was just free, right? The first time you tried it, I'm fine because you were synced with your team. But the second and third time where you just random die here, you had to go top once you realized that 5 people were just fighting for that space. Okay, so that's the only thing. That is enough to make it losing, unfortunately. Like, you can't just beat your head into this position and then like pray you win. You actually have to make the best rotation according to what was given to you. Right, like, I loved your very first attack because you just did this off rip and it happened to work out as the better lane, which is fine. I mean, good positioning gets lucky. But also, like, you can't just do this 3 times and pray it works. You have to actually think to yourself what is going to be the best rotation now after you reset, and then you should have derived that going top was better. So that's enough to make it losing. Also, on second point, whenever you're doing this defense, do not come top. It's kind of just worse. From a macro perspective, you need to be thinking about the lane control angle, right? So from the defender's or from the attacker's POV, they're going to be doing this if they have optimal macro. So as a result, you want to contest this right lane, because even if there is no one on this side of the map, you can hard flank yourself or control the angle yourself. Okay, so you had the wrong idea on second there. I thought I had to keep going there because I thought it's going to waste a lot of time, and I had to keep matching my team's intentions. On Genji, I mean, if you just stand here and you bait 2 people to look at you, it's good enough. So I don't really know what you're talking about. But yeah, this is verdict losing for me, but this was very close. Like, very, very, very close. You just can't run this play down 3 times and then you can't have that second attack. But I liked all your other ideas. In the hotel, I mean. Oh, I see. I thought I had to keep going there because I thought it's going to waste a lot of time and I had to keep matching my team's intentions. But you have to think about it. Okay, so let me just illustrate that, for example. Let me go back to it. So, look at this. Okay, you died doing the hotel play. Look, team in min. Team in... You definitely have time to make the rotation. Look, they're not even taking space. Right? They're not even taking space. See? They're not even taking space. So if you're saying that, then it's probably just an awareness issue. You died here, right? That's not you. Or even are you? Oh, you swapped the Genji at this point. Let me watch it again. Let me go to the first death. Okay, after you clear the Zen, I understand going hotel. Like, I think it makes sense. Like, I don't have a problem with this time you go hotel, by the way. That's not the time I have an issue. It's the second and third time. Like here, for example. Look, your team isn't taking space. You have time to make the rotation. And you see the Freya, you see all these people on the floor, right? This time as well, your team is not even taking space, right? So there's not even a match intentions issue happening. If your team was jab spinning into their backline, then sure, right? But they're just standing here poking. You need to set up the rotation. But yeah, it's gonna be verdict losing for me. Thank you for the code. Very, 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 very close. Like really well done from you. Otherwise, like almost perfect macro. Almost perfect. You're really close. That I wouldn't. Is that a good map for you? I'm actually interested in. No. Yeah, I mean your King's Row is really solid. You Delta 4 on King's Row. Like that looks really good to me. So nice job. Well done. Corridors are bad for Genji against Casto. Also, I'm going to run ads real quick. And then I'm going to do a new raffle. Let me make sure resolve. Resolve. I think I already did. Yeah, I did. New raffle. 300. Oops. Okay, I'm going to do new raffle for 300 seconds. Go ahead and do exclamation mark enter to enter the chat or exclamation mark claim to claim a ticket to be more likely to win in the future. And I'm going to do 3 minutes of ads on Twitch. That way we have no pre-rolls during coaching. So yeah. Always gonna dash wide, especially with triple boost. She still has boosters, so it's impossible to dash. Yeah, I just don't think there's a point of dashing on the Juno there, for sure. Corridors are bad for Genji against cast generally, though. I am for walls, they won't deflect it. I just think he kind of got unlucky in the Genji duel up top. Because normally that flat, if you walk into the cast when he's using... when you're using deflect, if he throws flashbang, even if he throws it at his feet, it gets deflected. So I normally don't have an issue with that. I thought she was backing up because she was low. Yeah. Was code winning? I'm in game. No, it was losing. Very close though. If he went into hotel and just died there one time instead of doing it 3 times, I would call it winning. I would have called it a winning code for sure. Very, very close. But you can't throw away 3 fights to the same play. We had to derive what the correct play was earlier. Very close though. Like I think that's a good code for people to kind of look at King's Row and really understand what to do. One thing I want to look at actually while we wait for the thing to resolve. If you go to my last stream, what you can and can't do. I played King's Row. And let me show you guys just some stuff that I did when I played King's Row that I don't see from you guys very often. So like, here I come right side. Clear this Genji. And then I go up top after poking Orisa. I probably shouldn't have poked at Orisa for that long. So when I used to play Val, whenever I like tried to climb, I played mostly... And then look at this. I complete the rotation to the high ground. Whenever I started playing just with plays recently, I played most... Force them out. Like, what are they supposed to do about me on this position? It's actually broken. And then you shoot backliners. Look at this. Like, this is exactly how you play this. Oops. Why is it slower? And then here, I bait the Genji dive. Oh yeah, I baited the Genji dive, but then I actually just break his ankles. Look at this real quick. Flash. Roll through him and headshot. Oh, it's actually way too cold. Tail, do my play on this map trust? What do you mean your play? He was not expecting that at all. Oh yeah, the first point defense. I'm hesitant, but I mean I don't think it's horrible. Just stand in theater first play. But yeah, so what I wanted to point out here is like I do literally all of the plays I recommend to you guys. I also rat way more than you guys like per game. So look at this, for example. So here, I don't see this from you guys like very much, if at all. My team pushes up aggressively, and what do? I stage in this position early because they don't know I'm here, and then once the enemy team starts taking space, I can pop out behind them. And look at this. This Deadeye is unbelievably strong. Unbelievably strong. This guy's literally not possible. I get a little bit unlucky on this Bastion. Like, look, like for some reason that doesn't kill him. Somehow I don't hit the Bastion. Notice how strong that play would have been. I would have just killed the Nano Bastion for basically free. I'm actually on. Okay, there's just... Whatever. The play I want to show you guys is kind of how I approach the... Defense, I just play hotel, whatever. I think it's the overtime. I want to show you guys. Okay, here's also something I do that's interesting. So I recognize you have to understand that third point defense is also quite bad for Cass. So what I do on this map is instead of just standing main and doing neutral pressure, I actually rat in this position. So once the fight actually starts, which is basically now, the cue being, I think, yeah, I hear the diva engage up top. So when that happens, I swing backline. You can very clearly see mechanical failure here. But if I was just slightly better mechanically, I kill the Ana early, which stops me from getting antied. And then it's way easier for me to convert on both backliners, right? I wouldn't have had to dead-eye the Mizuki here. But plays like this are what you should generally be looking for when you're on losing geometry, right? Like, so third point, King's Row is obviously pretty bad for Cass, right? There's not a lot you can do in terms of angling. So I look for stuff like that, high variance plays. Yeah, and then I don't really know what happened here. Shell Bebop stacked with me, which is fine, but Shell Bebop doesn't go for a shatter. I don't really know like what their idea was. And then once again, I swing backline. I don't really convert the kill quick enough, and then we just lose. I don't really know what my tank's idea was there. But this is what I wanted to show you guys. Oh, sorry. It's on the attack, not the defense. I don't really care about this defense. Okay. So on attack, one thing I want you guys to think about is as you look to take space, which as you can clearly see, I do here. I make the theater rotation. I go up top, and I bait the diva dive. Okay? This is a very important part of Overwatch. If you're on a hero, particularly a hit scan, and you can bait a dive like from the diva, it can be really good for your team. So look at this. I stand here because I know I'm going to get dove by diva because I know she hears me. Yeah. And then I roll away early. And then now I know that the enemy diva is stuck on this right side of the map, right? She's super far away from the entire fight. And in the time that I've done this, my team is able to take hotel for free. Like, look. Ryan, you can kind of see here. Yeah, look at this. Like, we're taking space into them very aggressively. And that's partly because I'm pulling the diva's attention. And then I see here that the diva is still up top. But I took a little bit of risk and actually just map flip into their spawn instead of going up top because I know the diva's up there. You guys do not do this enough. This is exactly what I want to see from you guys way more. And then look at this. Unsurprisingly, I get a 2-tap on the Ana. And then I continue the deep rotation. Force the Emre to turn around. Like, I mean, what do you do? What do you actually do? How many of you guys do this play? And why is it 0? Yeah, how many of you guys do this play and why is it 0? Exactly. I deadlifted that. I deadlifted that into, like, the macro there was insane. Like, really well played from me. Of course, I'm Glazier myself, but yeah. No, on the Ana, he rolled forward. Can't let that slide. I mean, yeah, I have a little bit of a roll forward issue. That's definitely one of my worst habits, but yeah. Okay. I just want to show you guys, like, you need to be thinking about high variance plays like that sometimes. They're really strong. You guys just don't go for enough map flips. Like, you guys tell me, Tail, I flanked more this game. And then I watch your code, and then I realize you don't flank enough. Like, very few times do I get codes from people where they're flanking enough. Nice one ticket for Tail. Yeah, exactly. Okay, who won? Ninlego, aka Morris. Congratulations. You've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. Yeah, we're looking for Morris Chan in the Discord. Morris. All right. Morris Chan. This is going to be Coliseum. Yeah, someone doing? Yeah, Morris did. This is going to be from Morris on Coliseum in Masters. So let me go ahead and change that. And then let me grab the code. Not sure how to play against Tracer in Doom. I kept getting caught by Doom and then Tracer jumps on me. Wait, also let me do this. Okay, I got to say all that again for the recording. My bad. Okay, this is going to be Masters from Morris, aka Ninlego, on Twitch in Coliseum. And he said, not sure how to play against Tracer in Doom. I kept getting caught by Doom and then Tracer jumps on me. So I started playing back. But then I'm not matching intentions with Hazard. What is winning move to do? Okay, good question. It will just depend, so we will have to look at the code. I can't really give you an answer there. Okay, I'm seeing a lack in depth on notes here. I just need you to come up with stuff. Just start writing things, okay? Thinking about where the fight happens, what does this mean? Like, what do you mean by think about where the fight happens? On what map and what situation? Why are you struggling with understanding where the fight's happening, right? Misread situation and got caught a couple times. Why are you getting caught? What's the issue there? How are you misreading the situation? What can you do to remedy that? On Rialto, why did you win on Rialto? When you died, why did you die? Okay, I need you to be a little bit more specific. I think your background Overwatch is beeping. Yeah, it's the training bots. Let me just come over here. Yeah, but your notes, I need a little bit more intention from you. This is not intentional enough. Okay, I'm glad you're tracking, but keep in mind the process of the spreadsheet, or sorry, the point of the spreadsheet is to make you reflect on your own gameplay. There's no reflection happening here. So you're going to see minimal benefit from tracking. It looks like push is a little bit of an issue for you. Yeah, we're -8 on push. Okay. And then awesome trend. We're Delta 7. Nice job. Also, highly recommend you move to the new template because your dates are broken. But yeah, nice job. Okay. I just need a little bit more intentionality from your notes, but other than that, looks good. In terms of like trend and hero breakdown, because you play mostly cast as well. So it looks good. Okay. View career profile, history, replays, import. And let me resolve this.
Ready for battle.
Perfect. Okay, let's check this out.
Why must you be?
So we're going to be playing Cassidy in Colosseo against a dive matchup. So this can be pretty difficult for Cass. Actually, I want to mention that this matchup in particular is not that bad for you. So the matchups that are the worst for Cassidy is when it's full dive. This is when you need to be concerned, right? So if they played Lucio instead of Mercy, for example, and then this was Genji or something, or Soj, that's when you start losing a lot more for Cassidy because there's no one for you to fight that's immobile. If there's anyone on the enemy team that's immobile, it's a rule of thumb that it's generally good for Cass.
Let's rile up the competition, shall we?
Alex SBG, good to see you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Okay. So here we come in. We should be doing a team check just to see where your tank is. Right, how close is your tank? And then you'd see she's in main, and then you'd be fine. I wish you just had slightly more awareness there, but other than that, it's okay. And then I need you... Okay, so this is just way too... Your posture is way too scared here. Whenever you see the Doomfist and these guys here, and you, more importantly, you see your soldier unswing the angle, I need you to fight for the angle. Because think about it from a lane control perspective. Here's the problem right now. No one on your team is fighting for this lane. So what's going to happen is the enemy team is going to be able to find timing to walk down this lane and then just flank your backline like this, right? You need to come control this space as Cassidy to stop the enemy team from coming this way. So this is you have the incorrect idea to come in. The only time coming main would be good here is if your whole team basically map flips and then it lets the enemy team take this space, but that's fine because now you're in their space anyway. So that would really be the only time coming mid makes any sense. What about the door where the tracer is? The problem is he'd be playing here against dive. He's just going to get slammed on by Doomfist, right? I'm not really a big proponent of opening up on this angle because it's really risky, right? Because you don't know, on first fight in particular, you don't know what tank they're playing. You don't know if they're fast or slow. You don't know what's going on. So if you open up here, you can very often just die to dive tanks and stuff like that. So that's kind of the big issue. The rotation out from that angle is a little bit too long. And then here's the problem as well, is I understand you were not trying to stack with your soldier, but now you're on a main angle that's really poor for Cass, right? These ranges are okay, but more importantly, it's really easy to get cut off from your team from here. Like, you really want to prefer being on this side of the map as a whole as Cassidy on Colosseo. Nice. And you find the timing to rotate back eventually, which is good for you. Okay, so here you get one clipped. Honestly, not a lot to do about it. You just need to roll slightly earlier, but honestly, let's look at this from this guy's PV. Yeah, so there's no way you're living that. The only way you could have lived this is by stopping him from being here to begin with. So let's see how he gets here. So starting on this fight, he fights the soldier, gets his recall forced, and then he goes to flank. Yeah, so you would have needed to stop this from happening, which I think in this timeline is impossible. Yeah, I don't think there's a world in this matchup where you're going to door. So yeah, I think this is actually unavoidable. Whatever. Okay. Clear this doofus off the high ground. Yeah, I don't really want to see you peeling this tracer here, to be honest. I mean, it's okay. Shoot doofus, shoot tracer. Nice grip. Like, notice how much value this tracer is getting because you're just marking her the whole time. Like, I don't want you to, like, here's how you, okay, so here's what I want you to think of how I want you to think about these matchups, right? The tracer, imagine tracers like play as an arrow like this. Like she has a sequence. She has step A of her sequence, step B of her sequence, and step C of her sequence. So what is happening right now is you are letting her complete her whole sequence and you are fighting her at step C. What I want you to think about is I want you to think about fighting her earlier in her sequence, right? So she does step A, which, you know, is something like staging. And then step B is going to be something like coming to a flank. And then step C would be like engaging on your backline, right? I want you to basically stop her before she's able to get on your backline. Okay? This is why people in like metal rigs find it really difficult to deal with flankers. And like heroes like Sombra, it's because they only deal with the Sombra when she's already on your backline. But if she's on your backline, you already lost. Okay? So your idea should be to stop the tracer from getting on your backline to begin with. Deny the space, deny the rotation. So what I'm saying is whenever this tracer is on your backline like this, you're already in a losing position. What you should have done is instead of worrying so much about clearing the Doomfist off this high ground, right? Do it the first time, that's fine. But especially here, your idea should not be to continue standing on the side of the map. Your idea should be to wrap right side to prevent the tracer from using this lane. What about trading backlines and forcing her to peel you? Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, okay, so going back to the analogy we just talked about. So if your tracer is going for this, she makes it all the way through A, B, and C. What you can do is outright ignore her, and then you just outvalue her by you making your own A, B, C kind of play, right? It's possible, right? Yeah, you can definitely do that. Peeling is not really a concept in Overwatch. And the reason being is because if you think about it from these guys' POV, Mercy can fly away. She has mobility tools to live the engage. Weaver has pedal to live the engage. Both of these heroes have ways to peel the engage, right? They have tools. Supports are built with tools to be able to live dives. So if they die, they did something wrong. But also, it's also partly your issue. Your idea should not be to peel. Your idea should be to prevent. Okay? You have to think about it differently. So yes, so here instead of looking main, I don't care about looking main. Stop the tracer from using this angle. This is what you should be thinking about. This is poor macro from you. You're not thinking in terms of lane control. You're letting this tracer get on your backline. And that's the problem number one. Okay. And then I don't really want to see this from you. This fight, like, I understand you killed Tracer, but I don't want to see you poking people from this side angle. I want to see you deepen your rotation, because what's going to happen, right? If you're a red team and someone on your team dies, what are you going to do? You're going to more than likely back up, right? So what you want to do as the attacker is to get ready to catch their rotation out. So instead of standing here and poking people, walk this way. You'll be temporarily doubled up with your soldier, but you're going to come this way to catch them as they try to make the rotation out, right? So, for example, let me just open up Coliseo. Maps, none. Coliseo, restart match.
Arriving.
Good morning, Gunner host. Hope you're well.
Someone needs to
Hope you're doing good today. Okay, so here's what we want to do. So, whenever we win the fight, instead of coming this way, I mean, this is the other side of the map, but instead of coming this way and doing this and just shooting backliners, rotate this way, right? Very intuitive. With the idea of either coming to this high ground and shooting them like this, or continuing to take space like this and catching them here. One or the other. Both are really strong, but I need you to do that and not just stand here and play this on a more passive angle. Because look at this. They're just going to be able to run away from you and you're not going to be able to get a kill. Could you say, but Tail, I just missed every shot on the Kiriko. But I don't care. Because here's the thing. You got 4 shots on the Kiriko there. You would have 10 shots on the Kiriko here. Okay. What is more likely to convert? Could he go right and drop behind the truck? No. I don't really like this rotation. Because the problem is... Because, okay, well, actually, it's easier to show if I just go on the camera. Right? So let's just say instead of standing here, he continued to make this rotation like this. Look how far away he is from the enemy's path. Like, they're going to be backing up like this, and he's going to be on a far angle. That's the key issue. But the thing that's nice about if he plays his high ground is he's on the inside angle, right? The enemy team wants to leave like this. He's on the inside angle to their rotation, which is really nice. So that's why it's worse. Okay. And then now I want you to start thinking about what space can you control. So here we come left side wide. Where's my soldier at? You don't team check. You don't know where your soldier is. So this is a mistake. Where's soldier? I don't know. He's in main. And we saw him earlier, but... Or later. So we can infer he's main. But the problem is no one is controlling any space right now. You're just standing in main. Instead of coming with the soldier, what I'd rather see from you is like... stand here to deny this rotation or go wide and do something high risk yourself or something like that. Like, I want to see you do something. Does Casio a bad map for cast or do I just suck? Okay. Unfortunately, you probably are just bad. Casio's push as a whole is really good for cast. Symmetric map types are really good for cast because there's a lot more flanking. Cast is really good at lane control and dueling people. And as we can see with Morris, he's not really controlling space very effectively against the dive matchup. Right? I don't want to see us poking main here. I want to see us do something higher variance, like come this way. Because at the very minimum, if no one passes this way, you stop the Tracer from using this space. You stop the Doomfist from using that space. But, and then the way you play it is you just either rat in the position, right? You either crouch here and wait, or you're going to do stuff that's like play it safely, like just stand here, for example. And then in the mid fight, you can complete the rotation. Hey, Misa King is better because that means more maps I'm going to play cast on once I learn. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. W mindset. Like, look at this. The reason you're losing into the dive matchup is because you let these guys take this space to begin with, right? This Doomfist you can't really do anything about, but this Tracer you definitely could have prevented. Or I want to point out, like, let's say you weren't staged here to prevent the Tracer from making this rotation. You could have been staged here and then made this rotation in the mid fight, and you catch Douglas 22, you catch Prometheus 33, you catch SCQ, right? You catch all these people. You could be trading backlines as well. So you're playing on the enemy team's terms and not on your own. And that's the key reason why this feels so awkward. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I checked my phone. Okay. Here we come in. Come hop your hazard. Go for this rotation. I'll be honest, it's kind of unfortunate your guy gets pulse bombed. I think you have the wrong idea anyway. Like, we shouldn't be pathing this way. I guess your idea is to do this Deadeye, but I would argue this Deadeye is just the same thing but stronger. Also, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's like, if your idea is to come to this side of the map, you should have been pathing this way because you could also clear this side lane, which is very commonly used by flankers. So I would prefer you just have better pathing so you could be set up like here for a Deadeye. So I'm not really a big fan of the way you go about doing this. I don't really know, like, what is your idea here, Morris? Like, I don't really know what the idea is. I think it's to Deadeye here. But I think this is just poor from a space control perspective. Is it unfortunate your guy gets pulse bombed? Yeah, but I'd rather you honestly like do this rotation and then bait the Doom dive or something. Because at the very least, you'll be able to control this high ground. I don't know. I think I'm scared of going on the bridge because Doom will jump me. Yeah, but it's kind of like you need to just live the dive or else you're going to do nothing. Like, it comes down to, like, can you flash the Doomfist before he punches you kind of thing. I'd rather that be the discussion than you playing way too scared, because otherwise you need to not play Cass, right? Like, if you're going to play Cass into these matchups, you kind of have to fearlessly take these angles and make them respect you, right? Of course, you can't int. Like, you're not going to go in on a backliner, right? But you need to be taking the fight. Because here's the thing, like, even if you get, let's say you're on the bridge and you get engaged on by the Doomfist, right? He walks up here and punches you. Conveniently, you're positioned with your team where your team can follow up off the pressure that you're alleviating by taking the Doomfist engage, right? But, like, for example, the reason, like, going back to the first fight question, which was, like, when someone asked, like, Tail, should I just play the door first fight? The problem is if you're playing door first fight, your rotation out from here is bad, and you're isolated. That's kind of the bigger problem. You're isolated where no one can even help you or make anything out of the space you're trying to create here. Because also, if you die in this position, it's actually convenient for the enemy team to continue, like, let's say you die here, right? It's convenient for the enemy team to continue rotating into your spawn and just map flip on your team, which is really bad for you. So, yeah. I don't really like this rotation for what you're trying to do. Okay, I'm dead. And then this is the same problem. Coming up top doesn't deny any space. Like, I don't want to see this position from you. I want you to come right side. Yeah. Okay, was your tracer here? Oh, we also go AFK. Okay, not for very long. Not for very long, though, which is nice. Yeah, I just kind of don't like coming up top. I know it's kind of circumstantial to get dove by Doomfist, but what do you do from this angle anyway, right? You don't control space as Cass from here. Like, you're not denying a rotation, you're not denying a lane. The only thing you deny is maybe this, but I'd argue if you want to do that, the stronger angle to do that from is here. So I just don't really like this from a macro perspective. Like, I'd rather you stand here with the idea of just poking main instead of coming to this angle, because at least from here it's better range from you for you. And then you have the idea you potentially wrap in the mini room to do this. Like, you can't really come right side because then you'd be stacking with Tracer, which isn't really ideal from a macro perspective. So I don't mind you avoiding this. Like, ideally we come this way, but our Tracer's already here. So, yeah, I just don't really like you coming up top. There's not really a point. Like, we don't deny any space, and it's out of our effective range. Okay, on this fight, the only problem is this roll. You roll into the wall. I needed you to continue backing up and play for the mini here. So, you just take the fight incorrectly. That's it. Okay, come right side. Like, here, I want to point out, like, why is the Tracer able to do this? It's because you're not denying any space the whole time. That's why you're struggling into this matchup. Like, look, the Tracer is already on your backline. You need to stop that from happening. Like, whenever you respawn, you needed to come right side to off rip. Like, for example, instead of walking, pathing main here, come right side to set up this angle, and you would also, conveniently, you would have hopped your Kiriko in this 1v1 and probably actually killed the Tracer. And you would have also prevent her from taking this space. Weird question. How do you tell if someone is circumstance versus wrong? Just curious how you think about it. I mean, this Doomfist engage, for example, like, so you can kind of derive what is good. So, okay. This angle ends up being moderately productive circumstantially because we get dove by the Doomfist, right? Because the Doomfist does something, we end up getting some level of value, right? Because you don't die on the angle, you force that guy out of the fight or whatever. Like, it's helpful. But, and the reason I'm able to derive that that's circumstantial is because I can deduce that the position is not good, right? Like, you can deduce, like, just through reasoning, why this position is worse for Cassidy on average in this macro state, right, where the card is here and your tank is pushed up, and it's because it's out of your range, you can't deepen, like, there's a bunch of different problems. I explained it earlier, but that's how I'm able to kind of derive it. And you have to understand as well that I have 300 more reps than you guys when it comes to reviewing codes. So I also can see way more patterns than you guys. It's faster for me to recognize these things. Zeta, thank you for following. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm seeing a very consistent issue where into the dive, we're just not contesting lanes, right? And contesting lanes is not the same thing as flanking. It can equate to flanking sometimes, but I just need you to stop them from getting the flank to begin with on your team. It's like same problem, right? We shouldn't be playing this angle. We should be playing this angle. I want this angle from you. And I hope I make it clear as to why that makes sense. Already how I forgot to follow typing stuff. It is what it is, bro. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Like this fight's actually pretty good from you. So you come top, shoot the Doomfist, whatever. You can't continue rapping or else you'd be too far away from your team. And instead of continuing your rap and helping your hazard, you stop this Tracer from playing the game by coming here, which I actually like a lot. It's actually pretty good for you. This forces the Tracer to use her resources early. Roll just to live. Nice. Nice. And look, I understand that was almost losing into the Tracer matchup, but you stopped the Tracer from getting on your backline. You stopped the Tracer from being able to one-clip this guy or this guy, right? And that's what matters. Nice shot. And then I don't really know why you come back main. You forced every cooldown in the book from the Tracer and the Kiriko. We should be continuing to fight these guys right now.
Just watching your back.
Okay. Yeah, like look at this. Look how many angles they have on your team. Like you need to go fight the Tracer. You have to fight the Tracer. You have to come this way and clear this guy. Get him out of the angle. Clear this, clear this, clear this. You have to. You just have to. Or else you're just gonna lose. Like look, they just angle max against you. That or you need to rotate away from her, right? It's either you clear her or you give up this space and then just flip the map and come this way. Like either one. I really don't care. Both are fine. Holy chaos? Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so much stuff going on because we're not stopping it from happening in the first place. Yeah. Okay. Nice headshot. Like, I love this clearing from you. Nice shot. Okay. I mean, it's kind of awkward, but shoot Doomfist. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really think you misplay that much this way. You're kind of forced into this angle because of the grip. And then your tank is dead. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care about that fight. Come right side. No, like, this is not what I want. Don't want this. Come right side because you're going to preemptively look. If you came right side, look at who you're clearing. Clear this Tracer. And then you can come here if she's not. If the Tracer wasn't there, you'd be able to come here as well. Look, and then she gets the pulse bomb on your Weaver because you're not there to clear her. This is exactly the problem. You're not preventing them. Okay, and this is pretty consistent in the dive matchup. Like, dive matchups, especially on symmetric map types, it's all about lane denial. Can you stop them from making the dive? If they're on your backline, you do something wrong. It's not about killing them once they're on your backline. It's about preventing them from being on your backline. I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse, but you're kind of just missing the fundamental in the dive matchup here. Which I think is actually a good sign because it's a pretty fundamental issue you're missing and you're already in Masters. So just imagine how much higher rank you'd be if you fixed it. Are we clearing that angle because we think Tracer is there or because it's a lane for flankers? If Tracer started coming from stairs near main, would we clear that instead? Look, you have to think about it from this perspective. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so here. So, there's a few reasons why going right side is good here. So, number one, we clear space for our team, right? We stop Tracers and people like that from using this space. That's number one. Number two, if no one is here, we now have a flank on the enemy backline, which is really strong. Okay. Number 3, this base is good for Cassidy in terms of effective range. And this is exactly why Cassidy is a flanker a lot of the time, not only from a macro perspective because your solo queue guy doesn't flank typically, but also because stuff like this happens where you have these really good effective range flanks like this. But that's why you need to come right side, because it does like 3 things at the same time. And it's also laying, like, it just, you have control of this map now. Okay. Like, there's a bunch of maps that are like this. Like, you could give me any push map, any flashpoint map, and I can find lanes that are like this for Cass. And you, as a player, as a Cassidy player, or as a new player, you're not going to know what the best sides of the maps are as Cassidy. You're not going to know what the best fights are. You're not going to know all this stuff. And this is why I always encourage you guys to go try things. Go expand your realm of knowledge, because you guys don't know what's good or bad. And it's not because you're stupid, because you're not stupid, for the record. It's because you literally don't know because you've never tried before in your life. That's the problem, right? So I need you to go do stuff like this. So you come there for a few different reasons. It's kind of hard to nail it down to one thing, but a big portion of that is just understanding space control and preventing the dive from happening. And it's also just a good angle for Cassidy, even if they don't clear you. Sephora, thank you for the follow. Yeah, like, you're playing super reactively here. Like, what would have been cool here from you is, Morris, this fight, once you clear this tracer, nice job, walk with your team, and instead of like standing back and riding cart, think about doing this angle and baiting the Doomfist dive. Wait, something, or like basically maybe you crouch here, wait for the Doomfist to slam on your backline, and then you swing backline, right? Like you trade, yeah, like for example, right there, boom. Now we swing, and then you would be fighting these guys to be really strong. Really, 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 really strong. So it is always good, but we engage after we hear dive commit somewhere, correct? I wouldn't say like, I know there are times where I say like things are always good, but Overwatch isn't really a game about absolutes. You should just be thinking about what space can I control, what stuff can I prevent, is there a flank I can set up, what play can I make, stuff like that. It's kind of hard to explain. But yes, like that side of the map is generally good for Cass. Yeah, so like here, for example, this is kind of the same problem, right? So you end up coming left side. Like, and then all you do is shoot the Doom, and the engagement is always on their terms. And then you get surrounded really easily. Like, we need to clear the extremity. Boom, come here, clear the Curie, map flip, do something like this. I think the only time you'd be playing this matchup differently is if your backline had a brig. If your backline had a brig, I'd be a lot more sympathetic to just standing in main, because you could just stack with your brig and shoot people the whole time. But because we're playing Weaver and Curie, who he ends up swapping to Curie, he was Mercy before. But because we're playing heroes that that are largely mobile or do their own thing, there's not really someone for you to stack with. Like, if you had an Ana or you had a Brig, I'd be more conducive to that. But because you don't have that comp and you're playing something with a lot more mobility in these two supports here, I think you should just be controlling lanes more. Go for something higher variance, but more space control, more playmaking. So yeah, this is verdict losing for me. I just think you fundamentally don't understand the dive matchup, like from a lane control perspective. Like, you don't want to be catching the dive, you want to be preventing the dive. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I kind of showed a few different examples. I think this fight here is a really good example of how to do that. Also, just thinking about like poking the walk up and stuff like that. Very important. Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay. I feel like that was a little bit convoluted, but if that was helpful, I'm glad it was. But yeah, that's going to be vertical losing for me for sure. Thank you for the code. But okay, that's going to be that code. We're going to move into the next one. I'm going to send everybody to Agile for 3 minutes. You will not be missing anything. I'll just be small talking. And then I'm going to do new raffle. Let me make sure it's resolved. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. New raffle 300. Go ahead and do exclamation mark enter to enter the raffle to get a chance to get free coaching from me. You can also do exclamation mark claim to claim a ticket to be more likely to win when you do inevitably have a code in the future. But with that being said, I'm going to send everybody to 3 minutes of Agile. Boom. Not the tutorial, bro. Not the tutorial. What time is it? 12:38. Okay. Looking good. Well, how many codes are we in? 2? Yeah, we did Kinshiro and Calcio. We're looking good in terms of time. About 40. I think... What? Okay. Give me you guys' take. Do you guys prefer really long and detailed VOD reviews that last about an hour? Or do you guys prefer the shorter, more concise VOD reviews that are about 30 minutes? What do you guys prefer? I'm actually curious. Because, like, we have a bunch of VOD reviews. Like, we have some VOD reviews that go for an hour, which I think can be kind of boring sometimes. And then we have some that are like 30 minutes, and I feel like maybe there's not enough content, so it's, I don't know. It's kind of hard. The shorter ones? Longer equals better. I think it's kind of a debate. Twilight Plane, thank you for the Prime resubscription. Much appreciated. The 2 months. Welcome back. I like longer for myself for obvious reasons, but for entertainment value, sitting in here watching, I prefer shorter. I see. Yeah, I think if it's their first VOD, then long, but if they've been here before, then shorter. Yeah. I think one thing I've been doing a lot recently is re-explaining like really core concepts. Like, for example, I've explained how you play King's Row like probably 100 times. Which I think can be annoying for repeat viewers, for sure. Because, I mean, personally, I don't have the most fun explaining it each time. But I do it because, for a few different reasons. Like, from a content perspective, like, whenever I go to make the video, sometimes it's kind of tough for me to make the video if I don't also include things like that. Because I don't, like, give enough context to people. Like on how to play the map and stuff like that, like from the video perspective. So I always end up re-explaining it. But I think my one thing I should strive for is for every like a minute of gameplay, it's only like 2 to 3 minutes of coaching. There's some times where I harp on points for a little bit too long, which I think can be informative because I try to provide examples and I try to like give really clear reasoning. But I think being concise is also, while being descriptive is great for coaching, being concise is also, in my opinion, equally as important. I remember Noobtail first time coaching me. Took him like an hour and a half. Yeah, there's sometimes where I spend a really long time because I'm explaining literally everything. As a coach, there's a bunch of stuff where that I skip a lot of the time. Like, if you guys have micro failure or you fuck up a flashbang, like, I skip it most of the time because in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to help you as much as explaining the macro. It's also less interesting. I'll talk more about stuff like flashbang usage when you're higher elo and you're not making as many macro mistakes. Like, yeah. I mean, this is kind of what burnt Woohoojin out, isn't it? Having to repeat a bunch of stuff over and over again. Yeah, I think Woohoojin also got burnt out for slightly different reasons. He also did it for way longer than me. Because, like, one thing to understand as well, from my perspective, is, like, in the grand scheme of things, I have only been doing coaching for, I mean, I guess it's been, like, a little over a year now, or maybe just about a year. But at the volume I'm doing right now, it's only been about 2 months. And I'm not really tired of coaching yet because I still feel like I have a lot of room to grow as a coach. But I definitely feel like as time goes on and I start to have like a completely solved understanding of Overwatch as it stands, I could get a lot more tired of it. But there are things I can improve as a coach. Like, can I be more concise? Can I find better ways to explain macro concepts? Can I find ways to improve my speech? Because that's also one thing I consciously think about is how can I have better speech itself? Like how can I execute better on the... How can I have better micro in my coaching, I guess, is a way to think about it. Repetition can still help for learning. Yeah. I think what's also been really nice about coaching is it's really solidified my understanding in the game. Because there's been a lot of times where I'll coach you guys and then I'll be like, huh, maybe this is actually better than what I do or something. Or it helps me, because I have to explain the concept so many times, it helps me understand the concept better. It's kind of like when you teach someone math, you have a better understanding of math. You have a better understanding of how to do a specific operation or something because you're actually rationalizing it live. And there's also some degree of pressure because people are listening to you or whatever. I like the way you explain certain ways of thinking, but sometimes I don't understand it yet. Yeah, that's something I'm working on as well. Because one thing that exists in the current educational sphere, especially from the VOD review perspective, is it's kind of dense, right? If you don't have any kind of baseline understanding of Overwatch and some of the lingo that's used, you kind of get lost. A lot of the information just gets lost in translation because you don't know what things mean. Like, for example, whenever I say a concept like lane control, okay, if you have no pre-existing understanding of that concept, you're not going to be able to translate that to your own gameplay, right? Which is why I try to show examples by drawing things to give you guys more context as to what I mean by certain things as well. You can run 2 games of Overwatch at the same time. Yeah. If you run 2 instances of BattleNet and then click start at the same time, you can have 2 instances. Sorry, my YouTube chat, like the way I'm reading YouTube chat today is slightly different, so it's slightly behind. My bad. The Khan Academy Overwatch for real? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... It's not really... I don't really know what my goal is. Like, I don't really know how I want my content to be perceived in the grand scheme of things. Oh, okay. I don't know how long ago this was, but Arco, congratulations. You've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. We also no longer have ads. Okay. Arco. Arco, what is your... Is it... It's Arc in the Discord, right? Arco? What is your username in the Discord? My tag is Rando. Oh, wait, it's literally right there. I just saw it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, cool. Do you want Atlas or do you want Rialto? Do I need to do anything to enter the raffle? I linked my Discord and Twitch and just type enter. Yeah, just type !enter. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Atlas. Okay, I see. Yeah, I'll resolve it in a second. Let me make sure the code works and we're able to hop into this. Yeah, if you do from in the channel, you can search by Discord user. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. It's just that sometimes I don't know what they have different Discord usernames according to their Twitch name. So I just kind of type stuff in until it works. I saw 3 people enter and I got worried. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should be fine. This match, okay, this is going to be Alice from Rando and Diamond. And this match felt kind of awkward, felt kind of weird. I don't know where I got awkward. Oh, it's right here. Felt awkward fighting against Genji at multiple points, and I think I should have just committed to the fights against him and not been afraid. I tend to leave flanks too early when they could still provide a lot of values from what I've seen. I feel like flanking should be correct here, so I'm thinking something in my execution of them was off. My deadeyes on the first few points were also bad. I wasn't respecting the hog this game and it showed. Okay. Close these. W notes. What's the delta here? Delta 8. Epic. I cast felt horrible this match. I don't know where to play on first point defense. I felt like I was getting zoned by Soldier Soch. Okay. Cast band, played Venture, actual steamroll. Not sure what to do against the Diva and Tracer. Usually Tracer and I would 1v1 and raid their... Okay. We tried to shoot backline. Diva just peeled. Didn't really get any opportunity to use my ult. Not sure what was going on. This sucked. Think about, whenever you have notes like this, think about what could you have done? Why do you feel powerless? Okay. Team communicated really well this game. Helped a lot. I didn't really flank a lot, but played off angles. When you high ground. Okay. This looks generally pretty good to me. Where do I sit on Midtown first speed? Okay, this is good. How do I know when it's just better to play main, even if flanking should be working? How do I fight Diva? Should I just swap? On Venture, should I try to pressure the monkey or just trade backlines? Questions are generally good. I think what's really difficult for me on like, I need to find a better way to coach you guys on having better questions, because like, you guys ask your question like, how do I know when it's better to play main even if flanking should be working? Which in my mind is kind of a loaded question, because the answer is it always just depends. It just depends on the situation. Like, there's a whole bunch of factors that go into that. But from your guys' perspective, it's impossible for you to know that without first asking the question. So, like, I think the questions like this are fine, but it's a little bit difficult for me to give you guys criticism for stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, let's resolve this. And then let's check it out. Let's check out the code. Okay, leave game. Yep. View career profile. And then this was Atlas. Let me also boot up Atlas on the other account. Leave game. Wait, actually show lobby. Maps, Atlas. Restart. Okay, cool. Match loaded. View.
Welcome to
Yeah, I've been struggling with coming up with questions, to be honest, though. I'm new to this whole thinking about what I'm doing thing. No, it's fine. Like, it's the hardest part, I think. It's a very consistent issue I run into with students, where they can't come up with questions. And I think it's just because it's largely uncomfortable. Like, you guys can't come up with questions because you've never thought about being critical of your own gameplay before. So you just don't even know, like, what could be a question. Rank, oh yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. By the way, Sketchy, much appreciated. I need to automate that, man. I can't wait to work on the bot to have that stuff automated. Thank you, Sketchy. You would say it depends? Guys, it depends. Up to me and buy my coaching for 200 euro. Or pounds. What is it? That's pounds, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initial flashpoint. Station.
Okay, wait, what do you want to automate? The goal is that when you guys win a raffle, it pulls up your code automatically, and it changes everything about the stream automatically, like the overlay. It's gonna be a little bit to work on because I'll have to use some OBS like API packages or whatever, but it's gonna be really cool when it's done. Okay, I talked about this on another time. I talked about Atlas, but I don't really like rolling out on the flank off rip, because you don't really know what the matchup they're playing is. Like, doing this on this map is not really good at play, in my opinion. What I'd rather you do is just path main, play the opposite side of your other DPS, and then wrap on their backline. I think that's a better alternative play. Because it's really easy for you to get isolated on this first fight here and just outright die, because you don't even know, you don't know, number one, who they're playing, and number two, where they're playing. So I'd rather you, instead of flanking off rip on first fight, walk main and then see, for example, in this situation, Freya going left, so you will come right and then you'll look for like this, for example, which I think is way stronger, more consistently. Could make people pay for live coaching and make bank. I just don't think I just don't enjoy live coaching personally. I don't enjoy it. I'm open to try it, but I just don't think it, number one, I don't think it's very productive. Yeah, okay, so we're just dead here. I don't think it's very productive, and then I don't enjoy it. Those are the two things. Okay, so this is kind of my problem, right? Like, you get isolated like this a lot more than you think and then die. I don't think this is a hog matchup thing. I think this is like, you just don't know really what you're walking into off rip. So taking this angle, I think, is just way too risky. Let me try. I'm a software engineer soon. Yeah, I'm gonna make a Trello board once I'm done with the spreadsheet on Worminator stuff. And Worminator is kind of the next really big project.
Hello?
Okay, every time you die, Arco, I want you to think about taking space aggressively, right? So your ball is dead, you're resetting. What space can you set up now that your team is dead? So what you can do on this map is you can come right side, drop out this window, and then look for this rotation. Okay, notice I'm fine with you making rotations like this after the first fight. Okay, on the first fight on Flashpoint, I don't really like hard flanking. But every subsequent fight, I think it's fine. Because now you know what team comp they're playing and you have more information. So coming right side or left would be good here. But I don't want to see you AFK. Like, the nice thing about Flashpoint is you can set up angles before fights even happen, and you can do stuff like this, right? So I want to see you rotate right now.
Hey there. Hello there.
What about live coaching after VOD viewing a player? Yeah, just not really. I just don't really like live coaching as a coach, to be honest. Yeah, this was good from you, right? Like, I like you coming left side, because not only do you set up a flank, you also clear the space for your team, and then you're able to catch the Kiri engage, and it's chilling. Oh, wait, also I never... Oh, no, I did change it to diamond. Nice kill. Now go back up top. Yeah, we shouldn't be on cart here. I guess you're coming to help the ball. It's okay. Shoot on. Okay. Continue rotating. Nice. Don't drop. You can't drop here because now when you drop, you no longer control this high ground, and it gives the enemy team the opportunity to do something like this. So just don't drop. Like, you should always be thinking about, if you can avoid dropping, then avoid it, right? Try not to, because now you have to walk back up top, and that's like a 10-second rotation to come back to the space that you otherwise could have just stayed in the whole time. So we can't drop here. We need to avoid that. Shoot Roadhog. Come right side. Like, love this from you. This is great. But I want to point out that you would have had just a billion uptime if you're here shooting Hog the whole time, which is almost equally as good. So, yeah. I mean, this is still good from you. Like, I have no problem with this. And then you rotate away from the Hog, which is great. Yeah, I don't want you shooting this Hog. Ignore this guy. Kill his backline. If he flips the point, that's fine. It's not a big issue. You'll just kill his backline in the meantime, and then the fight is won. Then you can recap the point. No big deal. I noticed I've often W key into enemies once I start hitting shots. Okay, yeah, that might be a habit to watch out for. I actually like this rotation from you, but we kind of just didn't need to do this, right? And the reason you feel compelled to make this rotation, by the way, is because you choose to stop and shoot the Roadhog. And if you had just continued rotating there with your ball, you would have ended up having better timing on backline. But because you have hesitation and you shoot this Hog, you kind of just like tunnel vision, you miss this rotation, and now you're forced into this longer play, which ends up being good anyway. But if you had just followed up with your ball, it would have just been stronger. Okay, I guess you Deadeye to kill the Juno, and then she ends up dying early, so then you hold it. And it's kind of inconvenient that you and Kiriko use ulti at the same time. Yeah, okay. And I kind of understand why you go for the drop here, but I just think it's kind of unlucky that you walked into this line at all. Also, you should cancel it. Like, you need to cancel Deadeyes where nothing is happening. Like, for example, this guy is completely out of your LOS. This guy is behind cover. Cancel your Deadeye. Start going wide. Because you start losing the value of Deadeye once people are already in cover. Okay, so to make the most out of your Deadeye, it's actually better for you to cancel your ultimate and then look for a flank on the Roadhog or look to get to cover or something like that. Because this greed actually ends up getting you killed because now you're stuck in main and you're the hook target. Right? If you had canceled earlier, you'd be able to go wide or something like that and open up an angle on a packliner or something. Or like look to do literally anything else. Okay? Cancel all bad Deadeyes. And I also want to point out, so one thing I talk about pretty frequently in codes as well is like sometimes you'll hold Deadeyes for space, but I would be okay with you holding the Deadeye if you were up here, maybe. But you're on the floor, which exposes you to more risk because not only are you not really controlling that much space, but also you let the enemy team have the high ground, which is very risky for your team, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, I kind of wish we just didn't Deadeye because you'd be able to stop this on from doing this, and then you'd also be able to flank the Curie. So, yeah. I think using Deadeye there was okay, given the idea to kill the Juno, but dropping there is pretty bad from a space control perspective. Because not only does it make you vulnerable to the Roadhog, you don't stop the on-run and Kiriko from playing the game. So I hope that's a pretty clear explanation. Yeah, your team is dead, so we reset. Also, one thing I'd prefer you do as well is you see this Roadhog on the right side of the map. Instead of coming to the side of the map he's on, you should use information through negatives. Where's the Roadhog not? And then go to that side of the map. So for example, you see Roadhog here. Okay, Roadhog's not on the left. I'm going to go left and start opening up an angle on this side. Like what you see Slime doing right now is generally the idea you should be having. If you can avoid the Roadhog, you should. If you ended up going right side because you saw your Freya's on the left, then I'm fine with that. But if you autopiloted, I needed you to think about that a little bit more. Okay, whatever. Don't really care that much. Okay, so going into this point here, we see our balls right side. Go for this fight on the Kiriko. Ball is in. Okay. That flashbang looked a little bit late to me, but honestly, it kind of worked out. I think I just autopiloted, yeah. A lot of Overwatch is dependent on your awareness, right? Do you know where your team is? Like, do you know where your team is, but also do you know where the enemy team is, and can you make the best play accordingly? A lot of the times you guys make poor plays, it's because you either never thought about a play being possible, or you literally don't have the information to make the best play. So here, trying to match intentions with the ball, which I can kind of understand. Yeah, you kind of just W key here. Like, your idea should not be, if you're going to do something like this, your idea should not be to walk toward them. Your idea should be to go wider, right? So instead of walking toward this on-run, you should be going wider into the on-run to maintain distance. Okay, and then if you got engaged on, you could back up into this room or something like this. So I don't really, like, mind the idea. Ideally, you don't do something like this because you should know intuitively by playing with balls. Okay, hold on a second. You should know intuitively by playing with enough dive tanks that they are just going for a soft engage and they're leaving. So you should know that this is not something you should be committing to very much here. Okay, so I don't mind the idea that much, but you should intuitively know that guy's not going to be in the fight for very long. I actually set myself up for failure there. Yeah, I actually love this from you. So this is like kind of the exact opposite of what we saw from Morris, by the way. So, which was the code right before this. We are establishing really early lane control. We are stopping the Genji from setting up a flank on our team. Like, this is really good from us. Holy crap, you're like lagging everywhere. It's so weird. But yeah, like you stopped it. I mean, you don't end up shooting him at all. But if the Genji decided to come platform here, right, you would be preventing that from even happening to begin with. Check Jen in Discord. I can do that in a bit. Okay, why do we not kill this guy? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we need to stop this W key. This is a bad habit of yours. So, for example, this position's fine, by the way. I don't really have an issue with this. W key here. This is fine because you're dodging the Juno, whatever. Rolling for uptime is probably not ideal, but whatever. W keying towards this Roadhog is, you can't do this. Like, I need you to just stand here and move wider, not toward them. Yeah, definitely an issue we need to fix. Okay, and then yeah, this is just poor hygiene, right? If you're going to Deadeye, you need to have cover here, especially into the Roadhog matchup. Also, I don't think you tracked Hook. I think he has it. Yeah, he does have it as well. And now we're dead. And this is kind of the same problem. Like, what I need you to do is when you're in a power position like this, just stand here the whole time and shoot people. Like, it's really strong. There's a reason why people come clear these angles. It's because otherwise you're just going to do a trillion damage and win the fight. But Deadeye was a panic ult, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather you Deadeye than not Deadeye, to be honest, because then we can talk about why it's bad. But yeah, we shouldn't have Deadeye there. Okay, so I don't like this pathing from you. You see your Freya on the right side of the map. Ignore the Freya. I understand she's critical, but even what are you going to do? Heal her? Like, you don't have a healing ability to heal her anyway. Come left side and then start taking this space, right? Don't stack with her on the angle. So come left, do this, boom, boom, boom. Open up an angle with your ball here, and then it's so free for you guys. Yeah, because your Kiri ends up helping her anyway, and now your whole team, look at this, like from a space control perspective, now no one is helping your tank engage, and now all 4 of you are stacked on an angle. If you had slightly better awareness there, you would have identified your Freya's on this side of the map, and instead of coming to stack with her, you'd come this way, and now you'd be able to engage with your ball, and you'd control way more of the map here. So this is poor rollout from you, which is stemmed from bad awareness. Or maybe it's just you thought coming to help your Freya was better, which it's just not. It's not. Think more about coming left side. Yo, is your coaching free? Yep, I coach for free. You can enter raffles in between water views. And the longer you're around for streams in water view, the more you basically lose raffles, the more likely you are to be selected for coaching. Okay, so this is kind of the same problem. We walked on main. Where's our Freya? Our Freya is in main right now, so we don't want to stack with this guy. Stop playing with the Freya and actually continue rotating. Either pick this angle or come left side with your tank. I kind of don't care, but we need to stop stacking. Novus and Demonifying, thank you guys for the follows. Welcome to Bug Nation. True on run. Yeah, like look at this. Look how much space your team controls. I mean, let me do it from this POV. Like, look at this. Your ball is in, and you guys are all stacked in main. I need a Cassidy here right now or a Cassidy here right now. One of the two. Pick one. Okay? We can't stack. Avoid stacking at all costs. It's not good. Yeah, I'm doing nothing by being there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're dead to Genji in main because you're not on an angle. Like, the thing that would have been nice there is even if you die to the Genji on the angle, you at least force him out of the fight. For longer. Your death is expensive, but if you die in main, your death is cheap. Love this rotation from you. Come fight the Genji. Can't roll forward, by the way. Don't roll forward. Avoid it if you can. Okay? Roll is your only mobility cooldown. If you're rolling forward, you now have no escape. If you're rolling forward, you're signaling that you're all-inning, okay? And here, I mean, very clearly, we're not all-inning, right? If you were going to roll forward, your idea should have been to roll forward and flashbang this guy. Like, do it earlier, like hit him around the corner, but we just didn't even go for that. So not a big fan of the ability usage there. I don't like you taking the duel with Genji because you don't have flashbang, okay? We don't have full resources. So here you come left side, you know he's flanking. You should be thinking about this less as I want to kill him, but you should be thinking about it more as I want to deny his playmaking. So instead of coming all the way this way and going for the Genji fight, just come here and deny the lane from him, okay? And this is because you don't have full resources. If you had flashbang, I'd be down for you to take the fight, but you don't have it. So you should be playing safer and think more about denial rather than outright killing people. Okay, so I don't like you taking this fight in this situation. And then once you saw the fight was losing, I did like the disengage from you. And then now we wrap back line right. Nice. You're also, I want to point out, you haven't used Silver Bullet a single time in this matchup. You popped up in my shorts. You seem more chill live. I was looking to see how Modern Cast gets played, so this was convenient. Well, Novus, it's fantastic to have you. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. I am a lot more chill live because I'm not as edited down. Things are a lot slower. And I think what ends up being shorts content or YouTube content in general is a lot more of the high energy stuff. Okay, so this whole time, instead of coming right side, here's what I need from you. Where's my team? They're all main. You need to be thinking about opening up an angle. So instead of pathing main with your team, either come this way, which I think is weaker, or come this way and open up this side angle. What the fuck? Come this way and open up this side angle like this, okay? Because what's going to happen is the higher elo you go, the more that people as a whole in Overwatch understand that angling is strong. So what's going to end up happening is the blue team, who's the enemy team in this situation, are going to do things like this, where they're going to look for this wrap play, they're going to look for this wrap play, they're going to look for this wrap play, stuff like that. And if you angle instead of stacking main, you will preemptively stop that from happening, right? You will prevent these plays from being a concept. So if you were positioned here, not only would it have been uniquely good in this situation because you'll have an off angle against these guys, but in all of your Atlas games, right, you're going to be denying more space from the enemy team. Okay, so for example, let me just show you guys what that would have looked like. Where's my Overwatch? Am I in the game? No. Okay, so let me just show you guys real quick. To this point, yeah. Okay. Dude, I want to get coaching, but I feel kind of ashamed of my gameplay. You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Don't worry about it, bro. I also have coached for like hundreds of hours. You'll be fine. No big deal. I've coached bronze to champion. I've coached every single rank. That's kind of like the fruit guy. Have you eaten XYZ fruit? I've eaten every fruit. I've coached every rank. But yeah, anyway. So what I don't want to see from you is walk main and stack with your Freya. This is really bad from a space control perspective and just outright playmaking. I want you to come left side, and that way you can do this to shoot back, kind of follow up with your team, but also deny all of these rotation and this space. You prevent. This is preventative. Okay, this would have been the better rotation. Alternatively, right, you could also hold on, let me go back. Alternatively, instead of playing on this side, you can also play on this side. The reason I'm not as big of a fan of this side of the map is, although you have a mega, the rotation out of this position is a lot more exposed, and you're playing basically the outside angle. So for example, like if you are rotating out of this position here, like notice this, if you rotate out of this position, you're kind of forced into this, otherwise you're in the open. But if you're here, you have a bunch of rotations out that have a lot of really good cover. So that's kind of the difference. But I'd prefer you to be on either side. It kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, so I actually don't mind this from you. I just needed it kind of earlier. And then stacking for the Kitsune shouldn't be your idea, in my opinion. Just stay on the angle. Like, you would prevent this guy from doing this. You probably would have killed him. And then you can wrap backline. The rest of your team is going to be stacking in the Kitsune. You want to be thinking about being, like, cutting them off, right? Cutting off the enemy team. Coaching is needed sometimes to improve, even if you've auto-review yourself. Like he said, we all start somewhere. Be humble and you'll be fine. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You gotta start somewhere. Just don't roll to this angle. I like you coming this way. Just don't roll. Nice Deadeye. Same thing. Like, we're just rolling way too much in the mid fight. Like, look at this. Shoot the Genji. Shoot the Moira. Fine for this. I mean, I guess you're getting engaged by Genji. It's actually fine. I didn't see that before. Nice. That fight was pretty good from you. Is coming main into the Kiri ult after off-angling bad? I was thinking it was a good play in the Kiri ult, but to be honest, if I held the off angle, I'll probably get way more value. Yeah, you should have been on the angle there. Because the rest of your team can use Kitsune. You could just be on the angle and stop the follow-up. Yusa, thank you for the resub. For 6 months, too. Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. Bug Nation loves to have you. Brilliant. Wait, hold on. I want to see this. So here, we come right side. I actually love this from you. Just shoot the hog. Okay, you hear him push you. No. Don't go help your team. Just pull the hog the whole time. You actually had the right idea here. Look, look how far away from the fight the hog is. You are going 1-for-1 with Roadhog right now. And a DPS is worth so much less than a tank. Okay? It's like trading a bishop for a queen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an actual insane trade for you right now. Just stand here, shoot the hog, force him to deal with you, and then just don't get hooked. Okay? If you can avoid getting hooked, you're chilling. I got you, bro. Keep running it. Love the content. Well, thank you, man. Much appreciated. Thank you for support. I'm glad I can be helpful. But yeah, you need to keep occupying this guy. Running away from him is not what we need. Like, this is really bad. We can't do this. Just fight him, force him to deal with you. And then also, conveniently, what would have been nice here is not only would you have baited the hog to look at you, but also you would have caught the on-run and the Moira if you didn't rotate here. Yeah, so the only thing about this is same issue. Why are we W-king toward the brig? Just stay on the angle, maintain your distance, And the chance of you living this Genji engage is way higher if you had just not W keyed there. I think you would have been fine. Okay. Same thing happens all the time on flashpoint maps. When you're down your team and you're waiting for them to respawn, set up a deep rotation. Okay. Start coming left side and do this. Do this. Come flip the map. I don't really care. Get active. Figure something out. Go into their spawn. Come play this mini, like, or mega. Come do something. But don't just stand here on flashpoint. Okay. On push maps, escort maps where there's less options, it makes more sense. But on maps like this where you can traverse the whole map, you should be traversing the whole map. I think the W key might come from a play of non-confidence in my longer range aim, to be honest. A place. Probably. I also just think it's a subconscious thing. It's kind of like jump spamming. You just feel like you should always be moving. And while that's the right idea, it's the wrong execution. You want to be having predominantly lateral movement. And then here you're too scared. Like, I love this angle from you, but continue going. Continue taking space. Who on the enemy team is going to clear you, right? I mean, I guess they have Sombra Genji, so maybe you're scared of that. But at the very minimum, right, if you bait 2 people to engage on you, you're going 2 for 1 for at least that 5-second window, right? Keep going, keep going, keep rotating. Do this, do this. Like, keep trying things. Like, keep rotating. I promise you it's winning. Like, you get way too scared. Like, no one's even engaging on you. The Roadhog wasn't even walking on you. He was just shooting in main, right? I need you to be braver. You're not brave enough. So now you get scared and you leave the angle. Is there a particular reason you do this, by the way? One thing I see a lot from players, like, I don't know if this is your situation, but what I see from players is they'll do plays like this, then they get scared because they just don't want to die because they're scared of getting flamed, right? Like, it becomes a team social dynamic issue. And in situations like that, you have to understand that what is the best play for you is the best play for your team. So I don't know if that's your situation or what. But, like, there I needed you to stay on the angle and at least risk dying because you'll do more. I don't care what my team says? Okay, yeah. Then that's just a situation where you probably thought they were engaging on you when they weren't. You needed to read the visual cues better there. Yeah, that's why I was fine. Slightly bad flash technique on the Sombra, but whatever. Yeah, we also have a roll forward issue as well. We need to fix this. I'm gonna be honest, you'd be probably like 3 to 4 divs higher if you just fix your movement problems. Like, rolling forward, rolling for uptime is just way too problematic for you. You're doing it all the time. And then walking toward people for no reason is also getting you killed quite a few times. Did you have a spreadsheet? I'm curious to see. Yeah, okay. Your flashpoint is generally good. Yeah, because I'm seeing like pretty good gameplay from you. Of course, not optimal. Like, this is definitely a losing code. But you have a lot of good ideas, which I think is, I mean, very telling. Like, yeah, like, we can't roll here. Like look at this. Here, shoot the Reaper, then you roll forward to hop your monkey. Like, I can't have you roll to angles. Rolling is a disengagement tool. Okay. Shoot Roadhog. Okay. Now I want you to think about what angle you want to control, what space I want to control. Like, love this from you. Like, this is really good. Bad crosshair placement, though. If the Sombra walks through here, you should be aiming head level. Okay, I don't want to see you roll for the angle. And also, like, look at this. Look at the monkey. I want you to still look at the monkey. You're, like, tabbed out, scratching your nose right now. Like, you react way too late to this monkey engage. You had to react faster. Yeah, like, roll forward here as well. I kind of understand it in this situation, but, I mean, we could have avoided it if we were slightly more aware. Yeah, okay, so same issue with this fight here on the Reaper. Look at it from his POV. Okay, just look at it from this guy's POV. He comes left side. He grabs the mini. Look at your hitbox as he swings the angle. Look. It's basically not moving because you're moving forward. Look how easy of a target you are. You spend more than half of the time in that fight just walking forward that whole time and jumping. Yeah, two different issues. But like, you need to be moving laterally. I want only lateral movement from you. So for example, let me just walk over there to show you how this should have worked out. Okay, I don't have the perk, but just act like I have bang bang. Oh my gosh, it's so far. They need to add no clip. Just let me no clip to the other side of the map. Come on, guys. Wait, where is it? Oh, it's over here. You think being a Val player, I'd be good at this? I think Overwatch, you just move so fast that you kind of just feel like you gotta get close to people. But like here. Okay, so for example, here's what you do. Fight the Reaper. Look at the bottom right or bottom left where my key inputs are. It's all lateral movement. Actually, all lateral movement. That's it. Okay, I don't want to see this. I mean, this is an extremity, but like, I don't want any W keys, any WS key. None at all. All AD, all AD. You died because of bad movement here. Okay. Come left side. Bad crosshair placement as you turn this corner, by the way. Okay. That eye's okay, in my opinion. And then I need you to set up an angle. Like here, get off the point. If you don't know, you can turn around and you can come this way and there's a staircase here. You need to get off the point because you're also stacked with the soldier. But more importantly, you just have very little cover. I need you to come up top and set something up. So you need to be rotating away from the cart here. I have a lot of like performance anxiety issues and I become jittery because of, which is really silly because it's Overwatch and doesn't matter. Yeah, I need to read some books on stuff like that, like the performance psychology, because I have a lot of students that are in a very similar boat to you, which they get like rank anxiety and stuff like that. And I honestly just don't know how to coach it because to me, it's easy for me to just say play more, but that kind of doesn't address the issue. Right? It's kind of unfair to you guys to just be like, play more, lol, it's just Overwatch. Like, I feel like that doesn't help. So I don't really know what advice I can give you other than just to like remind you that you have the power to climb. Like, you definitely have the power. You have the ability to be the better player. You have the ability to do great things. Like, we have people in the community who climb from silver to masters. We have people in the community who climb from diamond to high GM. We have people climb hella elo. Like, you're more than capable of doing that. And all the people on ladder are people you're never going to see again ever in your life. Like, have you guys ever played with Slime or Ram Lethal or Mommy or Stubert or Enkaido or GM? Like, any of these people? I've never seen them ever, and I probably will never see them again. Okay? And that's part of the advantage of playing games like Overwatch is they're just people at the end of the day, and then we'll never see them again. It's like walking into an open space. You'll never see these people in public ever again. Yeah, I have actually, lol. Yeah, but it's like, I mean, you might have seen a name or two, but it's very rare for you to play with them every day or something like that. People need to work on standing still when people don't look at them. Yeah, I mean, also as well. But this is going to be verdict losing for me. I need you to think more about, number one, I need you to clean up your movement. That was definitely your biggest issue. Walking forward for no reason in gunfights got you killed a bunch of times, as well as your roll habit. Okay, you have to fix that. And then I also need you to, you have very fundamental issues, which is going to be really easy to fix. So your movement needs work, okay? And I just kind of talked about it. It's namely your W key issue, as well as rolling. Both of those things need to be addressed. And then your other key issue I'm seeing from you is a lot of doubling up in neutrals, which causes your team to lack space control, which will cause you to lose games more. And I suspect you struggle into the dive matchup, which is very similar to the last code we had, because you're stacking a lot, which leads you to control less angles. So I need you to think about not doubling up more. And then also on Flashpoint, which is a very unique situation, Flashpoint and Push have this, where if you have downtime, set up angles, okay? You are kind of just waiting for your team, which can be good, right? It's not like you're inting, but if you can set up an angle in the downtime, you should be setting up angles in the downtime. I've gone from triple digit bronze to masters 1, though over a long duration. Yeah, I mean, like, we have people in the community that rank up, you know, very quickly. So I also think a lot of people get performance anxiety because they're hung up on the outcome of one game instead of the process Like, we have to be process oriented. Like, we have to be thinking about learning, and then the outcome is just a byproduct of our system. Like, what ends up happening is my students that climb the fastest are generally my students with the best process, right? And it was very convenient for my students at the beginning because they got coaching more often. Like, so for example, my students like Timmy, my students like Pillboy, who are people in the community who I've coached very actively. The reason they're able to climb, or like Kwame, like, I mean, you guys know who you are, right? Like, my students like these guys, the reason they're able to climb so quickly is because at the very beginning, or at least part of the reason, is because at the very beginning, I coached them like 3 times a week. Okay? For you guys now, because I just have so many more students, it's more like 1 time every 2 weeks, kind of on average is kind of what ends up happening. But long story short, right, they had good systems which helped them climb. Now you guys have stuff like the spreadsheet that helps you climb. You have regular coaching sessions. You have stuff like this that should be helping you. Think more about how can I have a better process, and then over time that'll lead you to whatever your goal is. I've gone high plat to mid diamond in like a week, and it feels kind of like I'm barely hanging on, so I'm just getting anxious about it. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of it, right? So just keep thinking, always think about how can I be a better player? What can I get better next time? Did I mess something up? How could I have done that better? I had a game where I played DPS yesterday. Like, look at this game. Like, this game was embarrassing. I'm on DPS against with Tree as my tank, and look at this performance.
2 minutes.
I went 8-6, and Tree is 20-8, and this is in front of like 500 people. It's actually so embarrassing. My one trick got banned, and my second best hero, Tracer, also got banned. Right? I mean, it's just what happens. And then here's what's funny. After stream, I went to Tree's chat and I said, Tree, I was the Emre in your Runasapi game. How did I trolled? I'm sorry. What could I have done better? And then he said, I literally don't remember that game. And then I was like, and then I reminded myself, oh wait, it literally doesn't matter. So stop beating yourself up, guys. Yeah, like, just keep thinking about how you can be better. Sometimes you have bad games. Sometimes you have good games. Like, that's just what it is. Natural variance. Don't worry about it. But yeah. Can we watch the game? I mean, you can just go back in the VOD yesterday and watch it. It's probably going to be the best way to do it. Okay. So that's going to be that code. Verdict losing. Arco, thank you for the code. Much appreciated. I think that's the first time we coached you as well, so I hope that was helpful. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to send everybody to IGL for 3 minutes. I need to BRB personally. So everyone just stand up, get some water, use the bathroom, do what you got to do. And then we'll be back in 3 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to put up the most recent video. If you haven't checked this out on YouTube, definitely check out the YouTube Once Told Tale, where you get edited down coaching reviews, which makes it a lot easier to digest. Definitely recommend you guys check this stuff out. Cool guy. I might be biased, but I feel like I was highly recommend you guys check it out. Also, this is another Atlas code, so if you have any questions about Atlas, this is also going to be another good place to look. But I need to BRB. I am going to do a few things as well. Let me resolve the raffle. We're doing new raffle, 300. If you're here and you want to get coaching, please do !enter to enter the raffle. If you're here and you just want to claim a ticket so that you're more likely to win in the future, please do !claim. But with that being said, I'm going to play this video and I am going to BRB. And then we'll get the coaching in just a sec. So BRB. Deliver it with your flash usage. In most of the flanker matchups, that's just how it works. Okay. Against flankers, you want to flash instantly or not at all. Unless they have no mobility cooldown or something like that. There's like some extenuating circumstance, then just use your best judgment. But this is your rule of thumb. Okay. If they have full resources and you have full resources, that's your general idea. Okay. Yeah. So here, for example, don't flash this. Okay. So this is a prime example of how to play the match, not to play the matchup. Here, she's too far away. This is a situation where you don't flash at all. Nice headshot. Nice flick as well. Don't flash here. I think you think she's going to stand behind the pillar. Yeah, I think you thought she was going to stand behind the pillar, but she ends up dropping. I'm not going to beat you up for that flash, but that flashbang shows me poor intention, which is what I'm critiquing, right? Which is you kind of don't understand the flanker matchup. Reaper behind, clear the Reaper. Rolling forward there is okay. I'm not really a big fan of that, though. I'd prefer you just shoot him and follow him. Because here's the thing. Here's what could have happened. You rolled on this guy. Boom. For all you know, you don't really see the Wraith, but he could just be standing here. You get jump scared. He one-shots you with his new Dire Triggers base kit, and then now you don't have roll to get away from the angle. You just take risk for no reason when he's not like 1 HP.
Okay. If it was 1 HP, I'd be a little bit more pro for this roll forward, but not in situations like this. You will die doing that all the time. Okay, so now we're marked by on. So here you don't rotate. So if you're going to do this, continue rotating. Otherwise, don't be here. And then you can argue, well, they're playing the dive matchup, and I don't want to go wide against a dive matchup. Okay, then just don't be here. Come shoot the monkey, and then look to push them out. Okay, one or the other. Not gonna lie, Onron harder to hit than Kiri. I agree. Onron is like slightly taller than most of the other heroes, so it makes it difficult to hit her. But the reason you get marked here is you get caught by surprise. But you shouldn't have been caught by surprise anyway, because you should have been continuing that rotation. Otherwise, you shouldn't be on this side of the map. Okay, I'm fine with you coming under. Nice shots. This is too passive. You're not matching intentions, right? Yeah, I think you identify it and you correct it, which is nice. Roll away. Give some space. Now you have full resources. Okay, same problem. Why are we rolling on these matchups? Okay. Here, you zone out the Onron. This guy is zoned out of the fight. You don't need to commit to this. Right? Look, this guy can't do anything. This guy's out. This guy's not going to do anything crazy. You're at an elo where people aren't just in for no reason. So that guy runs away. Yo, Tail, I always lose this point as a normal. I think this point's pretty bad for Cass a lot of the time. I do think it's good for Cass. Like, I think it's winnable for Cass, but I don't, like, out of all of the points, this is one of her weakest ones. I get really antsy with my roll. I kind of just use it on cooldown, I feel like. Yeah. If there's any cooldown you feel like you should be using that with on Cass, it's your flash, not really your roll. You need to use roll defensively. You have no mobility, so the little mobility you have, you need to, like, cling on to, or else you're just going to lose all the time. And then here, you kind of have the wrong idea. Once this venture shows up, your idea should not be to back up to point here. Or, sorry, return to point. It should be to, like, map flip and come this way. And then live. Because you just killed 2 people here. This space is open. You kind of just misidentify the situation and go for, like, live with your team.
Okay, I've returned.
You need to, instead, your idea should not be to go return to your team. Your idea should be to, even if you die,
What's this guy
be as
talking
expensive as possible and force the Onron completely out of position. So going to their spawn here would have been better.
That's true. Okay. Good place to leave it there. Okay. The voices. There's too many of us. Okay. How long do we have on the thing? 30 seconds. Okay, bet. What's the general chat? Oh, is this the clip? The clip of death? Playing with balls? You should know intuitively by playing with balls. Okay. Hold on. Hold on a second. Brutal. Brutal. I set myself up for failure there. If I claim, I can still enter, correct? Okay, so if you do exclamation mark enter and you lose, you get, it's the same thing as claiming. So the only reason you claim is if you just don't have a code, but you still want to be, like, credited for being here, basically. Because I naturally reward the people who have been here the longest. It's kind of the idea. In the future, I will make it where if you've never been reviewed before, you're like 3 more times likely to win than someone who's a regular. Who won? Wait, who did win? Replays or replays. Thank you for winning. What? I mean, thank you for winning, I guess, but congratulations, you've been selected for coaching. 2 great things. All right, let's check it out. Replays. Lijiang Tower. From replays. This is going to be in plat. So let me go ahead and add that to the thing. Plat. What are we on right now? BRB. Let me turn off BRB. Let me turn on platinum. Lijiang Tower. And this is going to be from replays. Yeah. Platinum. This is my first coaching request. I would like for you to be harsh with me. Okay. I want to learn and grow so I can be better. I have been tweaking my sheet over and over to try to get it better. Please let me know what I can do better there too. Okay. I feel like I was playing pretty normal this game. If there are any macro/micro issues, then I would most likely be doing the same thing in most of my games.
There were 2 micro mistakes on both maps that happened in the last 2 fights. I didn't cancel ult and rolled to avoid hog hook like I wanted to. And I staggered too long instead of getting out when I could slash should have. Okay. You try to break his ankles. Love that for you. Which definitely cost us at least 10 seconds. On second map, I tried taking an angle that was very risky, but I wanted to help my hog who was about to die, and I died matching intentions. I couldn't tell which way my Genji was planning to play, so I ended up doubling with him only to ult and rotate to a high risk angle to try and win the fight. Okay. Next, I took too long to kill a Kiri, and my team died on point without me, which was my fault. Finally, I walked with my tank just trying to get to point as fast as possible. Hoping to ult. Okay, we'll see. Long live Bug Nation. I've been said that. Long live the nation. Close all this. Okay. Notes. Okay. So we do... Okay. These notes are a little bit overkill back here, which I think you recognized. We don't need this level of notes per game. Okay, so I'm already seeing one red flag here, which is... Okay, whenever you're taking notes, I need you to understand that one game of Overwatch is 15 minutes long, okay? So trying to glean more than like 1 to 2 lessons per game is not going to be very time effective, because 15 minutes in the grand scheme of your overall playtime in Overwatch is nothing. It's basically nothing. Like, you need to be thinking about what's 1 to 2 lessons I can get from every single game. 1 to 2 lessons, 1 to 2. Like, multiple paragraphs is going to be very overwhelming for you. So for example, I know you stopped doing it, but for the people who do this, right? Whenever you have things this long, it becomes overwhelming on what you need to work on. Okay. Like, not only is observation a key important, or sorry, observation is a very important part of improvement, but also giving yourself a direction is also very important, right? If you're a circle, right, and you need to become a bigger circle, it's a lot easier to do so in like one regard, right? It's a lot easier to do so, you know, just one increment at a time. But if you're trying to grow in every direction at the same time, it's going to be way more difficult. You can't get better at everything at the same time. Pick one thing and work on that in particular, or think about that in particular. Think about doubling up more, and then more, and then more, until you get to the point where you have to grow everything else, okay? Like, this many notes is just going to be too overwhelming. I don't even need to read it to know that you're pulled in way too many directions at the same time. They're broken up by great highlights. The last section is my newest best notes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just emphasizing. I know you're not doing this anymore, but I'm just emphasizing that. Okay. Moving down here to our recent notes. I turned my brain off knowing this was my last game. I think I subconsciously training myself has allowed me to be able to start acting without thinking. Okay. Pass band. First map, I need to rotate to take more space when my team is coming back. Had some bad rolls. Good team checks. I feel strong as well. Need more reps on this map for sure. Are you new? Replace, how many hours do you have in Overwatch? I need to get more aggressive and duel more. I think overall I struggle to match intentions. Huh? Holy moly. Wait, holy moly. I accidentally clicked on Overwatch. Sorry, I'm eating a banana. Oh, okay. This looks like you're newer to Overwatch to me. I was old Overwatch 1 player on a one trick, new to cast, only played for a few weeks. When's the last time you played Overwatch? Like, so this is your return. It was like 2 weeks ago when you started. This looks to me like you placed too high. Yeah, this looks like you got placed too high. Yes, my turn. Okay. I think so did you get placed in diamond, or was it like high pot or something? Yeah, this looks like, okay. The system looks good to me. Now that you've corrected it, it looks like pretty good. I was in low plat, climbed to high diamond, and fell again. Okay, and then on the fall, you started tracking. I'm going to be honest, replays, I think you placed too high. If you're losing this much, this typically means your placement was bad, or inaccurate is what I should say. Yeah. So honestly, this losing trend, while it is demoralizing to lose this much, don't worry about it. I think you kind of got screwed on the system if you're losing this much. Well, all you can do is just kind of accept the losses as part of progress, and then continue to look for ways to improve. Like, I think your system is generally good going into it now. Okay. I'm not worried about it. Just trying to focus on good foundations. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, this looks good to me. I think the losing trend is just part of the progress sometimes, so don't worry about it. Then let's do import. Lijiang Tower. Okay. Bananas goated. I've been sold this. I would have kiwis, but like the kiwis my town has had recently have just not been very good.
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Okay, so Lijiang Garden. Lijiang Garden, there's there's basically two ideas. The idea you should be preferring the most on this map is to roll across the gap and then set up on this angle for this fight. It's really strong because not only do you open up a side angle for your team by playing a point here and you avoid the spam down main, but also you deny this lane from flankers as long as they're not playing a dive tank. The risk you take is that you make the roll on first fight and they're playing a dive tank, which you can die to sometimes. But I mean, it's pretty strong. Like, even if you bait because here's the thing, if you bait the dive tank engage, and as long as you don't die instantly, it's going to let your team walk through main for free, which is really strong. Really, 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 really strong. Poppy, thank you for the Prime subscription. Welcome back for 2 months. The 2-month streak has begun. We love that. Thank you so much. Come left side. Nice. Like, I mean, this was really well played from you. Let's go. Okay, the only thing about this is... yeah, you need it. Whatever. I'm honestly going to give you the pass on that. Could you have dodged the hook? Sure. But honestly, the way you played that was fine. It's just kind of unfortunate that he swung you wide there. Okay, so here, love this from you as well. But why are we walking forward? Maintain distance laterally, play like this, and then walk. Like, the only time I want to see you walk forward is if they're all on this side of the pillar, for example. Then you can walk forward because you literally can't do anything else. You need to maintain your distance. Play back here, move 80, 80. Like, I don't want to see the WP movement. Nice. Nice job. Good pressure placement, dude. Nice. Okay. So far, no really key issues. This is a winning code so far. Okay, your dude trolled. Tragic. Okay, going for this fight's kind of crazy. Okay, I actually like you going for the fight here, but we could have played it a little bit better in terms of micro. Flash before you turn the corner. Okay, you can hear him walk toward you. I need you to flash before you turn the corner. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let me open this up. Let me just illustrate. Okay, let's just act like this is Lijiang. Okay, let's act like this is the door. So we turn, so we turn left into it like this. I want you to flash as you turn the corner, then shoot him. Because here's the problem. Even though it's small, you're gonna be in an animation as you throw flashbang. Here. Yeah, you're just in an animation and you have to adjust your crosshair. If you turn the corner with flashbang, you wouldn't have to make that crosshair adjustment. And it will make that fight more consistent. Needs to poke the walk up too. I think it's fine for not poking the walk up if he's playing this angle. Considering he's playing into Hanzo Sim, like spam stuff. Into the specific matchup, I think it's like largely okay. Sorry, I was reading chat. Okay, we come back this way. Okay, don't shoot the Roadhog. Ignore the Roadhog and just do the flank play and do this on backline. Ignore the tank here. Because you're never going to kill him. He's just going to get infinite pocket from Ana Illari and heal himself. You're not going to kill him. Right? We have to just go around him in situations like that. Like, I needed you to go coast there. Like, so for example, the line would have been here, boom. Whenever you see this, that's kind of the green light to just go flank, right? You know Hog's in main, so you know he's not contesting the angle. Come this way. Okay, I need this music is kind of annoying. Let me go this way. There we go. We needed a wrap there. Okay. And now the fight's over because your tank is dead. So we need to... So now that the fight's dead, you should see this in the kill feed. Or sorry, the fight's dead. The fight's lost. You need to leave, come up top here, and like play in their spawn basically. Because you're in a position where you're on the other side of the map. There's not really a good way for you to leave, right? You're going to get cut off by the Roadhog here. So what we need to do is just like flip the map and go spawn camp this Hanzo basically. Is your only line that makes any sense. That or like int on the hog now, like one of the two. Either is the idea here. Okay, great feedback. When tank is occupied, be in a position to be on backline. I mean, it's just going to depend, right? Like in that situation, it was convenient for you to go for backline, so you should have. Yeah, you shouldn't have tried to leave here. You should have tried to trade out or go in their spawn, either one. Yeah, rather jump out the map, either one. Like basically. Yeah, I guess you could have just jumped out the map too. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that would have also been fine. 1 or 2, because look at this. Because you died late, look, you're not in time for this engage. Should your team be engaging without you? Probably not, right? That's probably not the optimal play, but it doesn't really matter. Like, because you died, you now are unlucky and you're desynced with your team. Yeah, okay, cool. That sees you for sure. Oh, it doesn't see you. Okay, never mind. You're the goat. Okay, now we go left. Nice kill. Good job. Continue wrapping. Okay, this Deadeye is not good because they have cover already, right? They're already unswinging you. Instead of like, you would have more pressure here if you just shot your gun. Because you're already on a deep angle and you can actually continue rotating. Do this is what we need from you right now. Force a rotation from the enemy team. Force a response. This Deadeye, they're already behind cover. They can largely ignore you. And it actually even sets up the Roadhog for an easy hook. So I needed you to either not Deadeye or cancel this Deadeye. Right, when the enemy team already has cover, the Deadeye is pretty not very useful. Okay. Yeah, you're half HP. Just don't take the fight. Like, here, I'm fine with you going for the fight the first time, but you shouldn't be swinging when you're half HP. Because now he could just body shot you or storm arrow you and the fight is losing. It's very fortunate he misses and you get a headshot. But once you're half HP, you don't have full resources. So just wait. Like, unswing the Hanzo, come right side and contribute to the neutral here. And then once you're full HP again, maybe swing him again. But you should see that this is a losing fight for you. Re-swinging this is for... Yeah, I mean, that was losing. Even if... I mean, he ends up headshotting you. But even if they body shot you, it's still bad. So I'm fine with you, like, doing that rollout. Like, I'm fine with you rolling across the gap, given that your team is fighting in main. But the way you approach the fight is just incorrect with the Hanzo. Okay, whatever. I think you actually played that pretty well. It is a losing verdict for me on that map in particular because of the int play you had. You needed to like map flip or something. That ended up making you be late for the next fight, which was really brutal. But the idea of going left side there was generally good. I actually really like that from you. Nice play. You know they're not playing a dive tank, so going left side is disproportionately better there. So like, or left side. I don't know if I said it right, but so one thing I talk about on this map a lot is there's kind of 3 options you have as the Cassidy player. Is you can set up for this left side rotation like this, which is really good when they're not playing a dive tank, right? If they're playing something like a Diva, it's very easy to get caught here as you're very overextended. So like things like JQ, Diva, like faster tanks will really punish you in positions like this. Alternatively, you can go main. You typically go main when either your team is faster or you outrange the enemy team. So you're going to outrange enemy teams whenever they're playing something like a double flex DPS comp. So think like Tracer Genji. Other than that, you typically don't want to prefer this. You'll end up also going main, or sorry, not main. You'll go coast side to point a lot as well, and then play point defensively. This is kind of like your default play if you don't really know what to do. Okay. It just shoots tree trunks. Like, unless you jiggle and crouch it perfectly, you're dead against Hanzo without a brand. Yeah, it's more just like we didn't have full resources, so why are we taking a fight against someone who does? right? When an alternative existed, which was just contribute to the neutral. This is really good play from you. Like, really good play from you. Love that. Okay, now we need to poke the walk up and deny a lane. Yeah, this is the wrong idea. So, first of all, we need a team check to see your ETA on our tank. You see that they're almost here. You need to be staged on this side of the map to stop them from taking this space. Because if you think about it from the attacker POV, how do you normally break out of this choke? It's by having multiple angles as you walk out. So you put a dude here, or you put dudes here, and then you have dudes in main. That's the easiest way to break out of this main choke point. What you do is you stand here and you stop that from being able to happen, right? You force them to take this space at cost. You don't want these people to take this angle for free. But I don't think it matters whether you have full resources or not. He has a one shot against you. So if holding the angle that you're trying to swing is super losing. I think it's okay to fight the Hanzo if you like have everything. Like you can just dodge the arrow. I mean, it's just got like, cause at some point you could argue like you should never be in this guy's LOS ever because he can always just one shot you, which at that point it's like we're playing way too scared. Sometimes you just have to take the fight and accept the risk that sometimes you're just going to get headshot. Like that's the thing about Hanzo. Like sometimes you just have to accept that. Like Widow as well. You can't just perma respect the Widow or else you're just going to lose. Oh, I actually forgot to play TP. Okay, so this is like, okay, so they TP'd a point, which is kind of unfortunate. I forgot they were playing that. But I want to point out that you would have been here if you played how I taught you, or I'm saying, you would have been here, and then you'd either be able to go kill the Hanzo with your Genji, or you'd be faster in the rotation to the point, right? You'd be in a better position to be able to do something.
I call that a silver bullet.
Yeah, this is a good idea. You should be slightly faster. Also, good kill. Okay, no one is looking at you as you make this rotation and you're continuing to move. Like, look at this. So we kill this guy. No one looks at you. Look how much movement you have. Move left and then move left to right and then you move forward. I know you go for the flash, but you could have just two-tapped her from range because she wouldn't even looking at you anyway. It's like she's basically flashbanged anyway because she's not even looking at you. Well, no, that's not what I'm saying either. That particular case, he has very limited options for movement. The Hanzo knows he will walk. Okay, I'm going to be honest. On that Hanzo engagement, it kind of just like, it's so minute of a situation where it's not worth obsessing over every detail on it. You could argue that he should have went even wider on the left side to avoid the Hanzo engagement. You could have argued that he needed to roll forward to go for the flashbang and go for the combo. You could have argued like he should have used roll to dodge an arrow. Like there's a whole bunch of different ways to approach it. And it's not like any of them are like remotely correct. It's just that him re-swinging the Hanzo at half HP shows me he has a resource issue. Like we're swinging people with half HP when they have everything. Maybe in that specific matchup, it didn't matter, okay? But I guarantee you, if we looked at his games on average, he's going to be making that mistake a lot, which is why I mention it. Like, we should never take duels where we are in a losing situation. Like here, we just fumble the flank, by the way. Like, you needed to not walk forward here. You needed to just maintain distance and go for headshots. And then flashbang the Symmetra whenever she turns for you, right? Like, but the idea was fine here. It's hard to remember to not move on flanks when people are looking at you, though, but it's important. It's hard to I mean, that's why observation is important. The more you observe yourself do it, the more you'll think about it. Okay, good team check. Your guy is dead. What the hell? I'm gonna be honest, you kind of just don't need to flank like this. Because your team already has the space, right? Like, look, your Genji's in main. No, most importantly, no one is in main here. You don't need to take an extremity of the map. Like, the enemy team is entirely on point. I mean, you don't know for sure, but what you do know is that no one is here, right? More importantly. So you know that you don't need to go wide flank like this. Instead, you can just walk down main and start shooting people from these angles. Like, you're playing a little bit too much on the extremity here when the space is free. Take free space. You should be taking free space here. Standing still on the flank is unpatched. Yes, it is an unpatched. It is the unpatched growth method. Deadeye, so your team can walk. I'm not totally opposed to this.
as long as your Lucio wasn't dead. So you're down a guy here. So this isn't a fair fight right now. This is a 4v5. Right? Your Lucio died and is just now coming back from spawn. So instead of setting up a Deadeye for main to let your team walk, I'd actually prefer you come left side and just do the flank again. Just flank again. Yeah. The idea is okay, but I prefer the flank. Yeah, so look at this, by the way. I mean, you also moved there. You should have stopped moving to go for the kill. This was fine. I actually didn't mind this. You die, but honestly, you pulled 3 people and the Roadhog ult, and you forced the symbol with your ulti. Like, you did it. You got an insane amount of ulti value that fight. Yeah, so like here. Okay, so this is exactly what I wanted the other fight, by the way. Like, here, the fight's pretty even. I mean, it's a 2v1, but you at least force them to deal with you and you don't die, which is good. And then we leave because the fight is losing, right? I needed that last time. When the fight's losing, just leave. Nice. Whatever. I don't really care about the Hanzo fights. I think the only thing about this, you kind of just needed to continue rotating. You needed to be in this position faster so that you can shoot them as they walk out. But honestly, like, it's not that bad. Here, you just need to Deadeye the Kiri. You just need to Deadeye the killer so that you can do something else. Because you get zoned by that guy for 10 years and then she headshots you twice and you die, basically. I'm gonna be honest, this is a go next kind of game. I think you had one bad death on the first map and one bad fight here. And it kind of just got you everything. This is a go next. This is a go next. No egregious errors, in my opinion. And I know it sucks that that's the case, but I think you're on the right track. Like with this code, at least with Lijiang. Like if I had to guess, I think you win on average on Lijiang. Like, let me see. Maps. No, you actually lose on average. I mean, Delta 2 is kind of nothing with a small data set, to be honest. You kind of just lose in general. This is kind of a hard code for me. I'd have to see more gameplay. What about this game? Can you help me fix my process? I think the only things I can really say is like, whenever you're in a situation where you are like this, right? You're already stuck on a deep angle. Or no, okay. So this fight, you needed to just go backline instead of shooting tank, right? Like this fight needed to go shoot tank. And then once you're stuck on the angle here, you needed to go into their spawn. I'm going to be honest. This is a really tough code for me. Hanzo matchup. Yeah, and then we just need, like, I would say your weakest point as a player is definitely your Deadeyes. Your Deadeyes are really consistently weak. And I'm glad you're doing things, but like, for example, like this Deadeye actually just, it's not only does nothing, but it's actually negative value because it gets you killed. Right? Like, I needed you to Deadeye, realize it was bad, and cancel, or not Deadeye here at all. Okay? Only on this map because I didn't know where to Deadeye on this map. More team checks down when he dies late. Yeah, there's also a few times where I don't think he's lacking team checks that much. It's more that he just doesn't really keep like tabs of the fight status. Like, are we winning or losing? Like, one thing that might be helpful for you replays is whenever you're in a fight, you need to be keeping count, right? So for example, if you haven't already, make sure you go to your options, go to sound settings, and you, on this sounds tab here, you have play sound when teammate eliminated on as well as enemy eliminated on. And then what you do is throughout the fight, I need you to keep count of when it's winning or losing, right? You kind of do it, but it's just something to keep in mind. Like here, up 1, we killed Hanzo, we have an advantage. Here, we pop Deadeye. We shouldn't be popping Deadeye just based on the fact that we add an advantage and we're popping Juno ulti. And then we're also up 2 now because we just killed him. Right, you dying here actually makes this a losing situation. I say that like a week ago is super nice. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Like, this is just a tough code. Like, I think it's just kind of hygiene things in terms that comes to Deadeye. But I think this is generally good concepts. I like the flanks. Like, maybe just, I think maybe if you stopped moving on flanks, you convert flanks more often, and maybe that's enough. I just don't know. I'd have to see more gameplay. Replace looks a lot like me when I first got a VOD from Tail. Like, he has good ideas, but sometimes it's just like old habits creep back in, like not hard wrapping or committing to the flank. If we just continue all of his ideas, and I've started doing, big gains soon. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Replace, I don't know. And this is the first code in a long time that's been like this for me, where I just don't have any concrete recommendation for you. I thought you had really good concepts here. Like, of course, there's some things we messed up. I think most importantly, your Deadeyes were just consistently weak. But I think you had good ideas in terms of flanking, good ideas in terms of space control. I don't think you played perfectly, but I think your like approach to the game broadly should be winning. I'm trying to learn everything at once, and I feel like I'm not sure what direction to go in. I think one thing you can probably do right now is just focus on having good Deadeyes. Like, just spam Deadeyes and only VOD review your Deadeyes. This is something Timmy did, for example, for like a week or 2. And then now he has really great Deadeyes. So, like, basically, you could Deadeye here and then go back in the VOD review and be like, okay, why was the Deadeye here bad? And then you'd say, okay, the Deadeye here is bad because they're all walking to point. They're all unswinging me anyway. Right? Like, be very intentional about that specifically, and I think that would help you. Also, you can think about, like, for example, the next thing you could work on is next time you're on a flank, did I stop moving when no one was looking at me, right? So, for example, here, no one's looking at me. Did I stop moving? The carry's looking at me. Am I moving? Yes? Okay, good. Nice. Like, here, you could have Deadeyed to kill the carry, by the way. You should have done that. Yeah. This is the kind of game where you would get and you would just go next, to be honest. I think you played well enough where, like, you didn't do anything. Like, I don't think this game was inherently your fault. I think it was like 20%, 30% your fault, which is, it's not like a 100% lost game. One thing I want to say is that I watch your videos on the map, and I feel like I know the best spots for Deadeyes or flanks or opportunities. The map, I've seen a lot from you, but not Deadeyes on first map. On Garden? You shouldn't really think about Deadeye positions. You should just be thinking about, like, when do I use... Like, okay, here's one thing I think it's misconstrued a lot. You shouldn't be memorizing the things I say. Like, this is a good angle. This is the best position to play. Of course, it's helpful to memorize a specific position, but you need to understand the intuition behind a position, which is why most of the time, there's sometimes I mess up as a coach, but most of the time I rationalize why a position is the best. You need to build this intuition so that you can figure it out yourself. Okay. So this is kind of what I need from you. Like, so for example, when it comes to Deadeye, I don't need you to memorize Deadeye locations. I need you to think about, Tail is recommending this location for a Deadeye. Why? Why is that Deadeye a good suggestion? Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to build my playbook from nothing right now, to be honest. Yeah, I think honestly, you're kind of in like a breaking in point. I'd have to just see more codes. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm sorry I wasn't able to be particularly helpful there, but that just wasn't really a code to glean a lot from. I think you played generally well enough. I think it was a kind of a weird matchup for you. You made 1 or 2 mistakes, and that just happened to cost you the game. Sometimes that's what it is in Overwatch. Okay? And that's why, and okay, that's precisely why, for example, going back to the original point I had for you, that's precisely why we shouldn't have like 10 sentences of notes per game, because some games there's literally like not that much to glean from it, right? 1 or 2 lessons, 1 or 2 things you could have done better, move on. 1 or 2 things, move on. 1 or 2 things, move on, right? I know you don't do it anymore, but for the people who do this level of notes, it's important that you don't do this, because there's very rarely situations where you're getting 10 lessons at once, or it's worth even spending the energy on stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be verdict losing for me, particularly because we missed a few like we staggered a fight, and then on you just kind of didn't play open space correctly on night market. Night market was definitely more winning than your garden was. Okay, well, thank you for the coaching. I'll try and fix dead eyes and learn only one lesson at a time. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. And then I think just give me another code in a week. That's gonna be the best way to improve for you. So sorry I couldn't be as direct there, but yeah. Okay, that's gonna wrap up that code. I have time for one more code today, and I'm going to send everybody to Agile. So I'm just gonna run the raffle. Let me make sure I resolve that last one. New raffle 300. If you're here and you have a code and you'd like to get free coaching, please do exclamation mark enter. If you're here and you don't have a code but you want to claim your ticket so you're more likely to win in the future, please do exclamation mark claim. If you do exclamation mark enter and you lose the raffle, your tickets do not get expended. You only get reset to 0 when you win a raffle. Okay. So if you have a code, just go ahead and do exclamation mark enter. But with that being said, I'm going to send everybody to Agile for 3 minutes. We will be right back. You are missing nothing. Okay. Okay. Today's been a pretty good day so far. I think we've done like, what, 4 codes? This is gonna be the 5th code. Sounds about right. About 45 minutes a code on average. I think, yeah, I think I want to try to get as close to the, you know what? I don't know. Because here's the thing as well, like, I just kind of don't know. I think 45 minutes is kind of the sweet spot for coaching. Because that's enough time to get a little bit of nuance and then also explain, but keep it concise. I think if we're running an hour plus on a code, it starts getting a little bit tired. You probably need to go over standing still when no one is looking at you. Yeah, it just doesn't come up all the time. Of course, it's a concept, but it's not like all the time kind of thing. Will there ever be live coaching? Probably not. Like, maybe. I mean, I won't write it off, but I just don't like doing it. It stresses me out. It really stresses me out. And also, it's kind of like, it's not really live coaching. It's just me telling people what to do. I mean, maybe I just approach it wrong. Like, maybe I should be thinking, I should be telling people, like, to, hey, think more about angle denial. Think about staging. Where do you need to be? Yada, yada, yada. And then instead of telling where to be, maybe I just do it wrong. I don't know. But yeah. I probably do need to talk about moving too much while flanking more. There's also one concept that I've been forgetting to mention recently. Oh yeah. Like last month or last few weeks, I've always also been forgetting to mention bad rolls. Like cooldown usage. One thing I never talk about is stuff like flashbang usage, because it's just kind of not that important and most people get it right anyway. Mr. Tail, I don't really have time to pay attention to a review, but would you mind going over my sheet? It's in coaching request. Yeah, sure. Yes, we can check. 2 new posts. Zeta is what I'm looking for. Bad rolls have been so bad for you? Like me personally? Yes, but also from a coaching perspective, I've been missing it sometimes. I've been a little bit better recently. Good game, staggered a bit, but did well. Ended up swapping to on-run. My Juno was on a bot account. Bro, like just literally write nothing. When this happens, write nothing. Okay, I'd rather you write nothing than this. Okay, this is just code. Okay, bot account refresher, just write bad game. Just write literally, I'd rather you write bad game or nothing than this, by the way. Really hard game. I suck at Ilios and our supports did me no favors. Also, don't want this from you. Our supports did me no favors. Delete this. They were full dive. Maybe should have flexed Emery or something. Tried to honor him, but no success. Why did it suck? I suck at Ilios because I don't understand how to win on well. Maybe there's some reason that I keep dying on the angles. Is it because I don't play around health packs correctly? I don't know. Like, give yourself something. You're giving yourself nothing to work with here. It's not Cope. He deadass was. No, it's Cope. It's cope. It's literally cope. Because who cares? Like, this is obsessing over outcome. We don't care about obsessing over outcome. Like, that's why it's cope. We care about learning. We care about learning. What can we learn from this game? My Juno was ass. Who cares? But I lost XYZ 1v1 for this reason. I can do that better next time. Okay. Same with this like Ilios one, for example. Did your supports troll? Probably. They probably trolled. But who cares? How could you be better at Ilios independent of your support? Wyderf, thank you for the 1 community gifted. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, man. Coffee Nom has been blessed with a gift sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But yeah, like, we just can't, like, there's no benefit. Like, you need to be thinking a lot more selfish. Like, you obsessing over whether or not someone's boosted or not gives them more attention than they deserve. Like, literally ignore that guy and just focus on you. But Wyderf, yeah, thank you so much for supporting Bug Nation. I really appreciate it. My goat. They played JPC Polygon, kind of lost, but felt impossible to rotate, but Esper is kind of a different map. I entered one fight. I think these guys were win training. Yeah, okay. Solid plays and dominate from Motel. Mechanics were off. Lost against Cap Action. I was doing God's work with this game. I found a lot of success on Super Flank Day. Like, this is good notes from you, by the way. Like, this is good. Like, these are good. I need more of this, and I need less of the just lost on what to do in the Cap Bastion. Try to figure it out. In the Cap Bastion matchup, maybe I should hard flank. Give yourself something to work with. You're not giving yourself stuff to work with here. That's kind of the big problem. Be specific. Like, if you're running into an issue, why are you running into the issue? But yeah. Hi there, Teal. Here from YouTube, new to the channel. Can you please explain the hygiene thing for Deadeyes in the next VOD by chance? Okay, we'll just do it right now before we hop into this code. Okay. So, Deadeye hygiene. We have a anagram called bad 3C. Okay. So, what I need you guys to understand before I explain this is Deadeye hygiene is not when you use ultimate, it's how you use ultimate. How do you go about using it? Okay. So, B stands for blind. Okay. Make sure you have visual confirmation of the enemy team before you pop your Deadeye. I don't want to see you guys cope and be like, but I heard him. No, I need you to see them. See them before you do it. Angle. A for angle. Make sure or prefer being on an angle from the rest of your team. Distance. Make sure you prefer having distance from the enemy team. Okay? Make sure you're further away from them. C. First C is going to be cover. Make sure you have cover to stand behind and do things like tail tuck with. And make sure that the enemy team does not have cover that they can use, or they are not already in cover. Okay, it's a double whammy. Second C is going to be cooldowns. Okay, make sure you are thinking about the enemy cooldowns that can cancel or nullify the value of your ultimate. So these are going to be things like hook. This is going to be things like javelin. These are going to be things like sleep, right? Make sure they either don't have them or you're playing cover so that you can dodge them. And then the last C is going to be cancel, which means cancel all bad Deadeyes. You have been blessed with the ability to cancel your ultimate. So if an ultimate sucks, just cancel it. Okay? It's fine. Don't overthink it. But yeah, that's bad CC. I'm just going to clip it. Yeah. Let me do this. Let me do this. Where's clip that? There it is. Alright, I gotta go now. See y'all. Yeah, no problem, Zeta. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, who won? Who won? Benny! Benyo! Congratulations, you've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. Benyo here. Sean JM, we are in diamond. Okay, let me change the tag from plat to diamond. Is this a winning code or am I coping? I lost, but really felt like I could only make very small improvement to my gameplay, like making my decisions faster or improving my small micro mistakes. Okay, we will investigate. I hit Masters for the first time. Let's go. Congratulations. That is awesome. Fantastic. Okay, I need specific notes from you. Okay, deadlifted. Why did you deadlift? What happened that made you deadlift? Didn't try, got carried? Why didn't you try? What do you think made you get carried? Okay, there's no specificity in any of these notes. Keep in mind, the point of keeping the spreadsheet is not to have cool data. Okay, I mean, that's nice. It's very helpful. But the point of the spreadsheet is to make you reflect on your gameplay. There's very little reflection happening here. Okay. One of the key ways to improve at anything is to observe your mistakes, and we're not observing here. Okay. These last 2 games I played unfocused and I shouldn't have. Can you look at earlier ones? Yeah, that's fine. I was going to scroll up anyway, so you're good. I played so well, I surprised him every time, and my Genji went 9 and 10. Okay? Don't care. Don't care about your teammates' performance. Literally do not care. Delete it. Delete shit like this where if you played well, sure, glaze yourself all you want. I don't give a fuck about your teammates because it doesn't matter, right? Keep in mind, it's about your process. You. What can you do better? What can you do better? Okay? Don't care about your teammates. Made 6 flanked plays, trolled 1 rat deadeye. Why was the rat deadeye troll? What could you have done better? Deadeye misplay. Started too wide, so couldn't tuck. Okay? I mean, this is fine-ish. Like, this is at least a little bit more specific, right? Trolled 1 rat deadeye. Like, what does that even mean? Okay? Deadlifted the next fight. Why are you deadlifting? Why are you succeeding on Oasis? Okay, I need you to observe. First round ignored ball too much. Second round played too passive on ruins because I thought, yeah, this is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need. These notes that you did on line 86, good. Good enough. I need this observation, right? Lever? Okay, levers are fine, right? You can't be perfect on all of your notes ever. Okay. Generally, your notes need more work. Be more specific. Why did something work? Why did it not work? What could you have done? Okay. And then questions, I need you to come up with things. Is it normal that fellow soldier had twice my damage in elims? I felt like he went main, so he got the easy kills. I mean, that's an okay question. But I want questions like, on Runasapi, where... I mean, just figure stuff out. Like, what's the best angle to play Cassidy against a diva in main on Runasapi? Second point. On King's Row, how do I flank on third when I'm playing Cass and the enemy team is playing Widowmaker? Is there even possible? Right? I don't know. Come up with stuff. Like, you guys can come up with stuff. The reason you're not able to come up with stuff is because you're not used to doing it, so it feels uncomfortable. So try. You're from YouTube. Do you coach support or only DPS? Currently, only DPS. Yeah. In the future, I will offer support heroes, but it's think in months for more roles. More heroes are probably sooner, but in terms of support, it's probably going to take me a lot longer. Even though it's funny enough, I'm higher rank on support than I am DPS right now. Like, I think I'm GM3. Yeah, I'm GM3 on support right now. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, Benyo, I need, if you want to improve faster, I need you to have more specific notes, okay? Specificity is key. And then I need you to come up with questions. Just come up with them. Figure it out. You have the capacity to do it. There are things you don't understand. I guarantee if you went and look at it. Or if there are things you think you understand, challenge yourself. Nikki Powers, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Bug Nation.
5, 4, 3.
What's a lot of support notes I gotta do?
Attackers incoming.
Yeah, there's lots to learn. Okay, so immediately we're making a mistake here, by the way. Brightstar, thank you for the follow. Immediately making a mistake. Okay, what's the problem, guys? For a ticket, what's the error that Benyo's making right now? How to rank actual W comms. Wait, I already did. Oh, I do need to remove the ads. That's correct. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Use tunnel. Cave. Yeah, cave is where you need to be, but what's the big problem here? No cover. I mean, that's true. It is no cover, but there's something a little bit more important than that. Main. Why is main bad? Why is main bad, guys? Why is main bad for Cass here? If I was Sojourn, this would be a lot more okay. But why? Range. We're out. Even if we wanted to play main here, this is out of our effective range. It's a range issue, right? This isn't something you do on Cass. Cass doesn't stand here and shoot people unless the cart was like halfway. Like if the cart was further, then I'd be a little bit more acceptable. But you're already taking risk for no reason here. The problem is, Benyo, they could be on Widowmaker, which is very common. They could be on Hanzo. They could be on something that kills you instantly, and then you would have tossed the entirety of first defense. Okay, so the reason, so number one, we should have been in tunnel. That's the first thing. Number two is the reason this is bad is because even if you wanted to play in main, you shouldn't be doing it here because you don't do any damage from this position. So playing, even if you take one shot, why take risk here? Yeah. Add ticket. And then go one. Double up his skin too. I mean, you are, I mean, no, we're not. We're not doubled up. You guys on high ground. Hanzo's on high ground. I don't care about doubling up with your support. I only care about doubling up with your DPS. Okay. Doubling up with your support's like a way higher level concept that I'm not... It's like not really worth talking about unless you're like champ. Sneaky Neeks, also thank you for the follow. Welcome to Bug Nation. But like, we shouldn't even be doing what you're doing here. Rashingo, thank you for the follow. I think you moved from YouTube to Twitch, so it's good to have you. Okay. Okay. What is your sensitivity, Benyo? Your sense looks way too high. I'm back. Have you missed me? Phlebus, we've missed you direly. 2.1 1600. Okay, never mind. I guess your sense is actually lower than mine. But like, I kind of... So the reason I don't know is that like the way you move your mouse there looks so jittery to me. Nah, it's slow. Okay, well. And then also you just swing the angle wrong here. So you not only do you hear him pushing, well, you hear him pushing, you're aiming too far into the wall. You should be swinging the angle, like clearing it. Like, so for example, let me actually just boot up Route 66 here. I'm just talking about the micro here because the position's fine. Oh my gosh, back to lobby. Okay. So whenever you're swinging this angle like this, you know he's there. So this isn't Val where you need to do like... So in Valorant, I don't know if you guys have ever played Val, but how it works whenever you're playing Val is you swing like this. You like chop up the angle, basically. You slice the pie is what it's called. In Overwatch, you don't really do that because there's no benefit to standing still and moving. It's the same. You have the same level of accuracy, right? So what we should be doing as we swing this corner into the cast is don't aim into the wall and swing like this. Like if you're playing Val, you do that, right? You slice the pie like this. We're playing Overwatch, so we track the corner, right? So you needed to track the corner like this as you swing, and then you would have been aiming at head level as you swing the angle. So like look at it for example. So for example, right? You hear him in there. You're aiming into the wall as you swing. So now he's wide on your screen. You have to make an adjustment, and it makes you get a body shot here. Wow, really cut out my Val habit? Yeah, I mean, this looks like Val type aiming to me, which is why, yeah, I mentioned it. Right. Very important that you fix that. And now we're stacked with our Hanzo, which is not even your fault. Like, your whole team is trolling by all coming to this angle. So it's good that you leave. And then now we go back. Like, this was really well played from you. Nice. And then you need to match intentions with your guy. Walk forward. Yeah, so you need to walk forward here. So here's the thing you need to see. Your Maga is in, and whether or not we like it, he's in, right? We have to match intentions with this guy. He slams in, and he gets slept. Every single cooldown in the entire book is happening to this Maga right now. I think the chance of this guy dying is super high. Like, we're talking like 60+% chance of this guy just exploding. So we need to make the most out of this dude inting and try to go trade him out and kill a backliner or something, right? We have to, because... I mean, if he dies, you lose the fight anyway, right? So you might as well try to do something. So we should be walking forward right now and looking to get aggressive on this Ana and this Mercy and to trade out supports while our tank is in. Okay? So this is incorrect here. Playing this as safely as you do is incorrect, given your Maga getting, you know, all the cooldowns blown on him. We had to do something there. And this is what's so nice about this position, by the way, is when stuff like that does happen, you have a flank on backline, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know about rolling on this guy. I think... What does this look like from his POV? A little bit insane. If this guy was better, okay, so the reason this actually pans out for you is because this guy takes space into you with no flashbang, which is crazy, and this guy also rolls forward. So this guy totally misplays, and that's why you're able to kind of get away with this. If this guy had flashbang, he would have flashed you, and I think it's losing for you. I think you needed to just give this space. Or like if you're going to play for this, you needed to stay on the mega. Like if you were going to play like this, you needed to be here and bait him in and then grab the mega and then roll out. So whatever. Okay, we get the kill. This is still good for the record. Like I love you playing for tunnel here. Like really, really good space control. It makes it hard for the enemy team to play the game. Really great crosshair placement there. Nice job. And then I just don't like you. Like this shouldn't be your idea. Like don't stop this dive. That's for the rest of your team to do. Keep cutting off the backline follow-up, right? Because think about it. What's going to happen from the attacker POV? The Monkey and the Genji are going to look to take space aggressively. And then the Ana is going to try to keep them up from being in spawn. Timmy, why are you sending me a friend request? Anyway. So basically, the Ana is going to be trying keeping them up from spawn. You just stop them from doing that, right? So just keep pushing through tunnel. You're not playing this angle aggressively enough given the situation, right? I need you to be more aggressive here. I need to snipe you when I'm on my next account. Is that the truth? But yeah, look, like they get the res because you're not playing the angle aggressively. Like, so for example, if we just look at this. You kill this guy. If you had continued pushing through the Ana, this res would be like, look at this, bro. This res would have been impossible. Yes, you didn't play it aggressively enough. You also knew that they dove main, so you shouldn't be scared of the Monkey. Yeah, and then you get caught in the open there. Quick play res moment, truly. Yeah. Oh, we almost hit that roll tech. And then go left. Nice job. Ew. Holy moly. Nice job. Okay. So here. Whatever. It was actually fine. Getting that res is kind of unfortunate, but... okay, so when you're in a Kitsune, don't use Deadeye. Kitsune and Deadeye kind of have the same side effect, which is whenever you use it, the enemy team is going to kite anyway. So here, I know this guy's extended, but you had a Kitsune anyway, and he's already in your team. Just shoot him. No need to Deadeye here. So now we don't have Deadeye going into this fight. Good zoning. Okay. So I needed you to roll away earlier. So whenever you start getting contested, I need you to give some space here. So here, this slide, either flash her instantly or roll away, pick one. But she ends up swinging wide with you with the Mercy pocket, which gets you killed here. I mean, you can also say you shouldn't flash the deflect. But even if you don't flash the deflect here, I think you die. Don't jump, to be honest. Where's he jump? I mean, he jumps wide, but it kind of just doesn't matter because we don't have the correct reaction to this engage. Like, you need to flash right now to stop her from taking space against you, or you need to roll away. Because if you get pushed right now, it's actually very likely you die. And the reason being is that you have no cover from this position, right? Like, if you back up, there's no cover for you to use here. So you have to basically fight for this for your life, which is what you end up doing, and you die, or you need to give it up early. I'm pretty sure I flashed before I saw the Genji deflect, but yeah, I should have rolled. Yeah, like, I really don't care about flashing a deflect. It's not a big deal. Like, it's more like we shouldn't have been, like, fighting as aggressively for this position as we did, given the circumstance. Because you're also the first guy forward, I think, right? No, your Mago's on the floor, and then he pins away, right? He's deep now. So now you're the furthest guy forward. You're the only guy they can even shoot at in the entire game, right? So, of course, you're going to get jumped. So you just play it for a little bit too much. The jumping made it so he missed his shot on Ana, and Mercy might have left her to kill Ana, just something small. I mean, yeah, but it's like, I can't coach every single micro like that ever. Like, yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, he could have not jumped there, and he would have maybe hit a shot on the Ana.
The payload has reached
Okay, we're also staging correctly here. Like here, whenever this fight's lost, or sorry, whenever you're resetting, just walk, to be honest. Just walk this way and do this, and then just come stand here. Or like now, you should be rotating right now. Even after missing the roll. Yeah, because here's the problem. Because you weren't here earlier, this Genji's able to take this space for free, and it's a lot more awkward for you, team. From right side, look for Mercy. Are you trying to bait the dive? I think you're playing this a little bit too passive. Like, you come to the angle here, just stand here and shoot the Sojourn. Make her force a response from this guy. I mean, I guess maybe like if you knew she had rail, it kind of makes sense. But did you even know she had rail? No. I mean, I guess it's fine. I mean, you die anyway, but it's like here's the problem, right? Like, first of all, we shouldn't have been here to begin with. We should have walked up the staircase, walked this way, and stood here. That would have been the ideal play. The second best play would have been instead of... See, here's the problem, right? Because you don't fight her in this space here, you now are forced to make this rotation now, and now you're in the open the whole time against his Sojourn, which is 100%. Like, you 100% lose in this fight. You at least, like, win maybe 30% of the time here. And even if you take damage on that angle, like, let's say you take damage, you at least have a rotation away, which is this. Like, you should be fighting for this space more aggressively than you are. You end up just leaving. And the core reason this whole fight is awkward, by the way, is because you just fucked up the staging, right? Like, we needed to be here now, right? And we're not there early, so now we have this late rotation. They already walk and take the space aggressively against us, and then we just lose. Okay. So we were kind of just set up for failure from the beginning. This is a staging issue, and then the way you approached the fight once you were there, we should have been contesting the space instead of just giving it up, in my opinion. I think there's a few different perspectives there. I think you can argue that leaving is fine because she has rail and she's pocketed, but we didn't know either of those things to be true. And then I don't like you staging on this side of the map. We don't control any space here, right? So here, so there's a few different issues with this. So the problem with this position is not only do you not do any damage from here, right? You do like some level of maybe you do a little bit of damage once they start taking space. But most importantly, if you get engaged on, which is very likely with Monkey Genji, you don't have a good rotation out of the position, right? There's very little cover. Like you have to drop or you have to go for the mega or something. It's really difficult to do anything. Also, more importantly, is that the enemy team now can take this space for free, which opens up a flank on your backline, which is really weak for you, right? So you need to be here to either bait dives so that your team can wrap, or just outright stop the enemy team from taking this space. Like, we need to be contesting more space here. This macro is poor. This angle sucks, not gonna lie. I tried it before, just to see how it feels. Which one, Pillboy? This garage one? This garage one is really bad. You just kind of don't do anything. Like, look. They're all able to make this rotation for free. This one, yeah. It's not really a good angle. Yeah, this pans out, but I'm going to be honest. I think it's still a little bit circumstantial. Like, let's look here. I think it's actually really good from you as a player to make the rotation, given that you're in this position, right? But you should be the dive target right now. Yeah, I think coming to tunnel here is actually really good, by the way. This is a really great identification from you. Instead of like going wide like this back to your team, you actually, or sorry, instead of rotating back to your team, you actually go wide. It's actually really nice from you. I love that. But I think the monkey just misplays, like, because why would you not dive the cast that's deep when you know he's there too, right? Like, a better monkey dives you and not your core. He hears you and sees you. But this guy chooses to jump main and do, like, nothing. He could just jump you, force you off the angle, and you're dead. Like, you should have died here. You should have died here. You only live because the monkey is not good at the game. I guess they would just take stairs side and ignore you. Yeah, they could also just outright ignore you. Yes. Like, I don't think this... And that's why I'm saying, like, I think he got a little bit lucky here, given that he didn't get engaged on. I think you get engaged on an average there. I think better players would dive you, because you're extended.
60 seconds.
Okay. I don't really mind that dead eye. I kind of just don't think we should be here, though. Like, we should have been... Why do you rotate away from this angle? Oh, the soldier. And you come back to main. Whatever. I think that's okay. Shoot monkey. Shoot Genji. Shoot Mercy. Flank right side. I'm down for this. You saw monkey jump. That's your cue. We need to go. Okay, same problem as last WOD. Whenever you're on an angle like this, stop moving. You have to stop moving. No one is looking at you. You need to convert this kill. This is a non-negotiable. You have to convert this. You have a huge advantage here. She's jumping. She's like moving evasively, even though she's not even looking at you. You need to maximize your chance of converting this kill. No one's looking at you. Stop moving. Dale, I have a feeling you ate pancakes today. All I've eaten today is 2 bananas. So unfortunately, I have not had pancakes. Yeah, you had to convert the Yana kill. Like, you needed to convert the Yana kill and then leave immediately. This guy gets pocketed, whatever, on the server. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't even peek these guys. The fight's lost. Right, you should see the fight's lost through the wall as you're walking back. Like, keep in mind, every time you walk back from spawn, you do 3 things. You look through the wall to see where your team is. You watch the kill feed, and then you also hit tab. And then here, right, you see the fight's lost. I mean, I know he pops ulti, but you should see the count. It's like 5v2 right now. This guy's critical. There's no point of even peeking, right? You risk staggering here. There's no point. Just leave. I think one of the reasons when you move an angle like that is because I always move when aim training. That's actually a very interesting thought. I never thought about that. That could be part of it. Actually, it's very likely part of it for some people that aim train regularly. Okay, here. Zone out the monkey. Zone out the Genji. This is great space control from you. Love this. Consider instead of doing this play, you actually do this play and then look to bait the dive. Okay, with good timing, this is really strong. So you just need a team check before you do it. Boom, do a team check. Make sure your team is in a position to follow up with you and then go for the play. Or team check to see that your team is getting engaged on and then instead outvalue them in main. Okay, alternative. Because here, what I want to point out is what's interesting about this situation is now you're no longer zoning people out of this position. You're getting zoned out of a flank by the Genji, right? He is shutting down your playmaking in this situation, right? So he's stopping 2 people from playing the game, which lets his nano boosted monkey just wreak havoc on your backline, right? Or nano visor or whatever they did. It doesn't really matter, but like in this situation, you needed to outvalue the nano. Like on kill backline. That's a great kill, by the way. Nice job. So far, I think your third has been pretty fun though. I like this defense. And I like your first defense largely. Yeah, you're just too scared. Like into this matchup, I know they're playing dive, but you have to understand if you don't do something, you're just gonna lose, right? So like either wait for the monkey engaged and then go try to fight the Genji, like be brave and try to fight the Genji, or go flip the map and play in their spawn. Like I don't care, but pick something. Because just standing here is too losing. Yeah, and then we come back into main here. I just don't really agree with this when we could do this, which is a checkmate that eye, right? Like, don't really agree. And we kill that guy, which is kind of sick, but yeah, it's lost. So you're controlling space well, but you're not making most of the space you have, right? Because they kind of just ignored you. You need to like flank into their backline or something, even though they're playing dive, right? Or like go for the fight with the Genji, like something. I don't really care, but we needed to do something there. And that's the thing that's really nice about Overwatch. It's like once you get the space control aspect down, now your creativity can be tapped into. You can go flank, you can go like be a little bit more passive, but still do something actively. Like you can just do more. There's way more to do. Go left side. Stop shooting this bubble. Stop shooting this bubble. Like instead of shooting this bubble and helping your diva, just make the rotation. You need to think selfishly in terms of playmaking, okay? Like, here, get off the cart. Like, I don't want to see any of this. Literally, just run straight into tunnel and then go for this immediately. and then you can go wide and shoot mercy. Like, I really don't care how you approach the angle, but once you need to get there. You need to get there. So this is too late now because now your dude is demacked. So even if you, I mean, you kill that guy, that's great, but you're not always going to kill here. And there's going to be times where you die on this angle. And if you died on this angle, if your diva was demacked, at least you'd be able to do something. Or if she had mac with the space you're making. Okay. 2 damage. Is our guy still? Okay, no, he is in mech now. Kind of unlucky your diva gets C-mech. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to do about it. But I think you could have done it. Should have been there earlier. And so that's cool. But it's like, I don't even think we should be here. Like, stop coming to this position. Your soldier is already in main. Like, look, this guy's forcing a response on this angle. Just keep doing this. Force a response on this angle. It's so much more awkward for them if they have to deal with this tunnel angle. You get a kill here, but I mean, I just don't. How does this guy take damage? What even happens? I mean, this guy's just an idiot. Like, this guy walks in front of the statue, or in front of this sign, and he's jumping, so he takes 1 billion damage and dies. Like, you don't get this kill because your positioning is good. You get this kill because this guy makes a mistake, right? This is the problem. So you kind of get vindicated here, but I mean, I just don't think you should be on this angle. Like, against better players, that Ashe never dies. Okay, shoot bubble. And now you can just walk it down main because you have the advantage. Personally, I wouldn't go main here. I would just go right side. I would wrap and then cut off their rotation out. Chill on Pegasus. It's the hard truth.
Not bad.
Nice roll tech. W roll tech. Yeah, you need to come up with whatever you're doing faster. I mean, this was like, I could tell you were thinking about it. Like here, I could tell you were thinking about, oh shoot, I'm doubled up with the soldier. And then you tried to roll across to the high ground. So honestly, your intention was fine here. You just need to come to the conclusion faster. I don't mind this from you. Yeah, I mean, this was all just a symptom of your staging there. Because you didn't come to a conclusion faster, you got stuck on cart and died. Oh well. Come right side. Really love this rotation from you. We see that our team is in main, so we open up to what we fill the gap and we come right side. This is really good. We should get the Ana kill. Okay, we don't, but we bait the monkey engage. Okay. Here you need to flash this. Okay. You need to flash that because not only will it make him slower when he's jumping on you, but also if he did land on you, you would prevent the landing damage, which I think it does like 30 damage or something, or 40 damage, which is very substantial in the monkey matchup. I was going to switch the monkey. Well, let me just do this. Let me actually just see how much damage it does real quick. Soldier yanked my health pack. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Your soldier, I don't know why he's there. He shouldn't be there at all. But, okay. Jump pack does 60 damage if he hits it directly onto you. So, it's very important you prevent that damage from happening. This has to be a flashbang. That has to be a flash right there. It also, conveniently, would have broken off his armor, so he would take more damage to you. Yeah, you kind of just played the matchup there wrong. I like you being there. It's actually fine. Because I'm pretty sure you would have lived there if you flashed him and then rolled away and fanned the bubble. Nice. Shoot monkey. My soldier's on the angle, so we just blow up the monkey. Nice. Fine. Looks good to me. When a flash get eaten by shield, that's why you need to flash him in the air. And then if it gets eaten by shield, then he just outplayed you. That's fine. It's kind of like... Yeah, but like the problem is you didn't even have the intention of flashing him. It's the problem. Like I needed you to at least try. I love this play from you. This is awesome. Nice job. Yeah. Great play. So now we have Deadeye here. I'm actually so down for you to come like top right and then look for this Deadeye to take space aggressively into them. Or alternatively, you could like go back under here and look for something. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'd be looking to get active here. Get a little bit active. Yeah, go like nice. Yeah, this is great. You're stuck with your soldier, but the Deadeye here is really good. So yeah, I'm so down for that. Unfortunately, you don't get the damage on the monkey, but the intention was good there. And then now we need to get off the cart and we need to set up on the left side of the map, right? So come here, because here's the thing, right? Like, think about when the attackers retake this or the defenders retake this. When I tell you guys, when you're retaking this point, what do I tell you guys to do? It's what you need to do is you need to send a guy, you need to send people main, and you need to send people through this door. Okay, so as a defender, you can prepare for that and put a dude here, aka you need to be standing here right now. So, because not only can you deny this rotation out of this door, but you can also poke the walk up here. You don't do a billion damage, right? This is slightly out of your effective range, but you still have pressure on them as they walk out the choke. Also, it opens up another angle for your team, because look at this. Soldier is playing this far angle here, and if the enemy team walked out, like theoretically, they would have to deal with you on this far angle, your team in main, and your soldier on the enemy high ground, like, or on this high ground. What the fuck are these guys ever going to do about this formation? It's impossible to deal with this, right? So we need to rotate here. We have to get off point. Yeah, nice. Okay, you fell off on accident, or I don't really know what you're doing. And so now here's the problem. You have a bunch of hesitation. You like fall. I don't know if you fall off intentionally or what, but now you set up too late and now you're not here early enough to help your Alari on the angle. Right? Also, I think you take Silver Bullet in this matchup. Yeah, you needed to take the fan perk. Nice. Nice. Okay, so far I'm seeing mostly staging issues from you. There's a lot of really good ideas though. On second in particular. I love your third. On third, you had a slightly different issue, which was you weren't making the most out of the free space you had. Here, you should understand the monkey is there. You see Genji spam in main. Come right side. You know right side's going to be free now. Come right side. Even if the soldier's here, take the fight on him. Or not the soldier, the cast. Yeah. 151. And then I would not be forcing main here. Stop forcing main. Come top right again, and then just do this. Like, this is what we want here. We want to force a response on this angle. This Deadeye, they're all unswinging your team anyway, because the enemy monkey is one. It's not like they're going to take space when the monkey's one, right? So Deadeye didn't even do anything. They would have kited like that anyway. So now they're in this room for free. If you had been staged here, not only would you have been catching them here, but you could have prevented them from taking this space. Yeah, and we don't convert the fight. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had a bad Deadeye here, and then we just didn't control the right space of the map. You end up being stacked with this guy the whole time. You can argue, but Acero should be popping Visor on high ground. He needed to make the rotation faster. Like, this guy sucks. Maybe he should be controlling space. He should be on a different hero. But it just doesn't matter. Like, we could have played that fight better. We could have controlled better space. You could have not gotten your Deadeye force. You could have done a whole bunch of things better there. Yeah, anyways, just lost. Okay, so now I want to see you hard reset and go up top. Nice. Yeah, this is lovely. This rotation is just kind of long. But, okay. And yeah, now you don't have time to go up top, which is unfortunate. Don't clear this guy. Outvalue him, right? So you know he's behind you. He's super far behind you. Instead of doing this, you should have jumped up these boxes and then done this again. We had to do this. And then outvalue the Genji. Go kill him. Or sorry, go kill the Mercy. Go kill these guys. Don't chase the Genji. Which that's not you. And look at this. Like, I want to point out, but because you go mark the Genji here, guess what? You're not on this angle. So guess what? This guy gets to flank your backline and he gets a double kill. This is your fault. You needed to be controlling this side of the map. Okay, we needed to not get baited by this Genji.
They got us outnumbered.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so your third point attack was super weak. This is Verdict losing for sure. Third point attack, I need you to control this space and then when you're not getting marked, make the most of it. So on defense, I like your defense idea. You're getting marked by Genji. Okay, force a response by flipping the map. You know what Genji just did to you on third defense here, right? Where a third attack, where he was like behind you and he forced you to turn around. I need you to do that, right? No one's marking you, or the Genji marks you from that space. Okay, so you know you can do this. Go flank backline. Okay, I'm so down for that. And then on attack, I needed you to use this space that was otherwise free and then come this way and force a response. Force them to come clear you. Okay? My bad, Pegasus, for everything I said. Yeah. Like, this guy ended up carrying because that space was free. Pegasus made the most of free space. He flanked backline like this. Boom, flash, headshot, whatever. Like, it was really good from him. Your second, I liked a lot of your idea. I like the way you played this angle, but I didn't like the angle itself. I think against better players, you get dove here because you're overextended. Also, better players don't 5-stack main. They send a dude in tunnel and it would have cut you off. But I liked how you adapted to the situation and ended up going wide for the tunnel play, which was cool. But I think your general idea should be to stage on this angle. That way you can deny this side of the map from the enemy attackers, right? Very, very, very important for Cassie to be here early. The problem is you end up being here, but you're late. You need to be here early to stop them from coming this way to begin with, right? You let the Sojourn in. You let the Genji in, so you are late to the position. Sorry, it's flashbang you guys. You need to be here early to stop that from happening, okay? And then your first defense was largely good. There's just 0 point to poking main because you're outranged. Widow is common, and you do like, what, 10 damage? So it's just not worth it. Right? I'd rather you just stay in hotel, not hotel. I'd rather you stay in tunnel and just deny it the whole time and play safe. Okay. You do GM players? I do every rank, even champ. Yeah. But yes. Yeah, those are my big critiques from you. You also move when no one's looking at you, which is another thing. And then you made a bunch of other errors like flashing in particular situations, bad crosshair placement. Like there's a few other micro things you could look at as well. But from a macro perspective, those were the 2 things I was kind of missing from you, which is we're missing staging. You're not placing enough emphasis on the importance of staging on positions that give you good space control. And then also when you have free space, I don't know, I started at 2. Let me start at 1 and then do 2. And then your second point was that we're not making the most of free space, right? These are the kind of 2 things. And making the most of free space might entail flanking, by the way. Like hard flanking even to dive comp. Like I want to point out, they're playing dive, but it's like Cass on a Mercy, right? It's not full dive. The only times you don't want to prefer hard flanking, or I mean, it's just going to depend, but the times where hard flanking is harder is when they're playing Lu Kiri. That's like the only matchup in the game where it's hard to do that. This was eye-opening, thank you. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. I'm glad I could be helpful, Benyo. But yes. Okay, so that's going to be it for today, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add tickets to myself. Once told tale. I'm going to add myself 1,000 tickets. I'm going to run a raffle. This is kind of just a GG, guys, and my way of thanking you guys for being here. Thank you for being here toward the end of the stream. To get tickets for next stream, go ahead and do ! claim on this raffle, so you're more likely to win in the future. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I have to wrap up slightly early today because I'm in kind of final exam season and I've got some projects I got to start working on. Next stream is going to be on Friday. So this Friday at 12 p.m. EST, so starting at the same time. I will be running, I think, the full duration, so it shouldn't end early, but I can't promise it. And I will keep you guys updated on the spreadsheet dilemma. I'm almost done. I ran into a bug. It's kind of a nightmare, but yeah, we're going to figure it out and I'll let you guys keep you guys updated. If you haven't already, definitely recommend you guys check out the Discord. Go ahead and join there. That's where you submit your codes for review. I do apologize that if I was not able to get to your guys' code, there will be a wipe tomorrow. So codes will be wiped tomorrow. So make sure to resubmit codes for next stream. So you will have to play and then send them again. Thanks for the stream, coach. Yes, of course, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I always appreciate everybody coming to hang out and learn more about Overwatch and become better players. Yes, if you haven't claimed your... Wait, I need to make sure I enter before I do anything. Hold on. Enter. There we go. Okay. If you enter the raffle, you are guaranteed to lose. I have 1,000 tickets. I mean, if you win, that'd be insane. If you actually enter and win. It'd be like a 2 odds here, basically. Bro, I win this raffle. It's going to be like a 4% chance. I mean, not even. It's like way less than that. Like 0.2% chance. It's like hitting a gold in Counter-Strike if you win the raffle. But yeah. So next coaching stream is going to be Friday. I probably won't do a gameplay stream this week. And if for the most up-to-date stream calendar, please join the Discord. I update and post announcements in there all the time. So that's where you guys can keep up to date with what's going on with the stream. Let's see. One Soul Tail has one, and then I will resolve, and then you guys have been issued your tickets. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's raid someone. Let's find a raid. Who is streaming right now that you guys like? Who is streaming? Is Evie streaming? Evie is not streaming. Who's your favorite streamer with 40 or less viewers? That's streaming. Wait, Kefri streams Overwatch? I didn't even know he's back in Overwatch. Chasm? I don't think Chasm is actually streaming right now. I think it's a 24/7 thing. Yeah, it's a 24/7 thing. Frankie P? I'm looking for like a 30 viewer Andy. We got any 30 viewer Andys? Anton, Coca. I don't really know these people. Dude, I need to get my like creator networking up and going, bro. Yeah, I just don't know anybody. Deemsies is the Omnic post does fun YouTube content. Yeah, we're rating that person. Deemsies. Boom. Okay, we're gonna raid this guy. This guy seems chill. All right, guys. So next stream is going to be Friday at 12 p.m. EST. Join the Discord. I will keep everybody updated with what's going on there. We're gonna start this raid, and then I hope to see everybody soon. Just keep in mind, codes wipe Tuesday, so I will be we'll be starting a new slate starting next week. So just keep that in mind, guys. Okay, everyone, I'm raiding. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye.
People say.
Talking about that, the